Hello, gamers. You're listening to the Short Pause Gaming Podcast. This is episode number 86, Felsing Winter's Peak. And welcome back once again to another Brent Felsingless Short Pause Gaming Podcast. Womp womp.
That's what happens when you don't care about the people, man.
I guess.
This is what happens.
That's a shame. He's just probably out having was it some Destiny party or something?
I'm pretty sure he's probably streaking in the neighborhood somewhere at this point because Michigan State just sealed up the win over Notre Dame, so
Sweet.
all that beer and chicken wings has gotten to his head at this point. He's probably butt naked in somebody's backyard that he doesn't know. So that's my guess.
Just covered in barbecue sauce.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, I'm joined tonight with Mr. Benjamin Boyce and Bender
Hello.
Holt. How you guys doing? How's your Destiny stuff going?
It's going good. We've run into a snag here at the end, and that snag is a big mofo by the name of Oryx. He's giving us some trouble on hard mode, but I don't know about you, Bender, but I'm confident. I don't foresee us not beating him, and I don't know about you, but I'm gonna do whatever it takes to beat this dude. So
yeah,
so whatever
It's
we gotta
gonna
do,
happen.
by hook or by crook, we are gonna defeat this guy. If we gotta seek out some LFG group, we're gonna do it. We're gonna beat this dude, get the moments of triumph. We've come this far. We've come so far, Bender. We can't let
Yep.
we can't let it go now. We're right on the
Exactly.
precipice of greatness.
Is that all you guys have left? Is just Oryx on hard?
Pretty much. I have a couple calcified fragments I need to pick up, which shouldn't be too big of a deal. But I'm missing 4 fragments and Oryx on hard. That's it.
Bender, you just need Oryx.
I just need Oryx. That's all I have left.
Dang.
Yep, so
and
close.
we're
so
literally
close.
at Oryx right now. We're at Oryx. All we have to do is get into the raid and finish Oryx.
I gotta tell you this, Frankie. DJ got us the Oryx checkpoint, and then I was wondering how he got that. I was like, man, he got that pretty quick. He told us when we jumped in there. He's like, so I did a LFG thing where I met up with some guys. I told them I needed the Oryx checkpoint, so I loaded into the raid, and then I turned off my PS4. So he got some guys to invite him for Oryx. He loaded into the raid just to get the checkpoint and then just bailed.
That's
I thought that
awesome.
was hilarious.
Yeah. He felt slightly dirty about the maneuver, but hey, desperate times, right?
What you gotta do, friends, man.
desperate times, man. I mean, we're coming up to the brink here, Bender. Bender, we need a battle plan here. So we're gonna try this thing again tomorrow. So if we don't succeed tomorrow, what's our course of action here? What's the plan?
I think, like you said, we gotta start maybe tweeting or getting into LFG sites and just trying to searching for people who are experts at the raid to maybe carry us through it, because I don't know any other course of action we could take.
Yeah,
If we can't get it with our crew, we gotta find some people who can just get it done.
yeah,
And we almost had. I mean, we were getting into a groove.
yeah.
It's just that those 2 guys had to leave, so
Mhm.
the group kind of split up. So
Yeah.
we can get some guys in there who can stay and stick around long enough to beat it. I mean, we can do it,
Mhm.
but if it comes to it, like I said, we'll just have to find anyone or everyone or anyone who can help us get it done.
Yeah, we're gonna get it done, man. If we don't get it done tomorrow, it's gonna be a long Monday night trying to crank this out. But,
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, just for comparison's sake, last year, it came down to the wire for us beating Skolas. Is doing Oryx on hard just as challenging as trying to get a Skolas run in, or not
No.
quite?
No, I don't think it's anywhere
no.
near as hard as
It's not as stressful. It's mechanically, it's in some ways it's kind of as hard. You could just in the fact that everybody has to do their part. Like all six people have to work together. No one can screw up. But it's not as stressful or as ridiculous as the Skolas fight.
Basically, we have to go through like 4 phases of of the same like system of things that we need to do. We need to do it 4 times perfectly in a row. All 6 people need to do their job perfectly for those 4 runs, and then Oryx will be defeated. It's just there's a lot of stuff that goes into each of those runs, and everybody has to do it perfectly, and you can't die because you're on hard mode, and it's tough, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough, but we're gonna do it.
Boys, you want to jump into new releases? Speaking of Destiny.
Yeah, man. We'll get into the new releases here. A couple notes from last week that we missed on PlayStation platforms. Hot Shots Tennis, the PS2 game. It's now a PS2 on PS4 game. Let's get out there, get some trophies for a cherished PS2 classic. You guys ever play Hot Shots Tennis?
Nope.
Never played that one either. Obviously, it's Big Brother Hot Shots Golf is the well-known franchise, but I know this was kind of one of those cult classic games that came out during the PS2 life cycle. Maybe didn't get as much attention. I'd be interested to maybe pop this one in at some point. Mahjong, which we mentioned for Xbox last week, also came to PlayStation platforms. And Filthy Lucre came out on Friday. So if you want to get in there and loot, do some heists, that kind of stuff, it's like a twin stick heist game. Let's check that one out. Now this week, fellas, there's a bunch of stuff coming out, but there's really only one thing that matters. And if you didn't guess by the intro, that's Destiny: Rise of Iron. It will be out this Tuesday. It goes live at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 a.m. Bender Standard Time. And this is it, fellas. And this is what we've been building up to. We've been toiling away at the Moments of Triumph for the last month or so, trying to work our way towards the Rise of Iron. You know, Bender, we've been upping our light level. We getting some cool new gear. Like, we're like hardcore back into the Destiny swing of things now. And Rise of Iron, is going to take that up another notch. We got a brand new story coming up, a brand new raid, brand new gear, obviously brand new areas to explore. The Plaguelands, Fellwinter's Peak on Earth, or what will heretofore be known as Felsing Winter's Peak. There's new strikes, there's new enemies, all kinds of new stuff for Destiny players to explore. And we know Destiny fans are a voracious crowd, so they're going to get in here and gobble up this content quickly. They're going to try to get ready for the raid, which will be unveiled on Friday. So, you'll have your chance to get up to your 385 light level, however that's going to work. We'll find out once we get in there. But, Bender, man, tell me your thoughts now that Rise of Iron is upon us.
I'm excited, man. It's been been leading up to this for a long time. I'm looking forward to getting into the new content, checking out the new story, all the new gear, and working up to that new raid. I'm really excited about a new raid. Yeah. The raids are always the end game and the best part of the Destiny experience, especially for the PvE crowd.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be really exciting and really cool, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, and we're not missing out on the raid this time around. We're going to be there in the trenches with the crew. We're going to be going through the raid, figuring stuff out with everybody else. We're not going to come in at the very end here and try to figure out what's going on. Yeah, I'm excited about the raid too, man. Wrath of the Machine sounds awesome. Sounds like this is going to be a more action-oriented raid. At least that's the way that Bungie has described it. Something more along the lines of Crota's End. Maybe doesn't have as much puzzle solving as something like King's Fall or the Vault of Glass. So, I'm looking forward to some like balls to the wall, just raid epic once Wrath of the Machine hits. Franklin, we saw you tweet out a picture of Rise of Iron. It's preloaded on your PS4, so you're ready to go. You haven't stepped into the Destiny universe for a while here. Tell me your thoughts now that Rise of Iron is almost upon us. This is the big start to year 3 of Destiny here.
Well, I mean, obviously there's still stuff in year 2. Well, yeah, I guess year 2 Destiny I haven't done. Like, I still haven't done a normal run of the raid yet. Well, I haven't finished one, of course, but either way, like, just the way the story like unfolded in the Taken King, like, I'm really interested to see if they're going to continue like a more narrative, driven experience, which would be great. More Caden would also be awesome. But yeah, I'm just excited to hop back in, just see all the stuff that's changed, because I haven't been in there since April? Is that when we last update we all looked at.
Mhm.
So yeah, I've been out of the loop on that thing for a good 5 months now. So it'll be nice to hop back in there. It's a game that anytime you come back to, like it's just everything comes back to you. It's a game that just it feels great to play. Probably one of the all-time great first-person shooters that we've gotten this console generation, in my opinion. So it'll be nice to hop back in there.
Yeah, I mean, whether you want to argue it or not, Destiny is. There's no game that plays like Destiny, in my opinion. There's no game that plays better than Destiny, from a first-person shooter perspective. Just the way the guns feel, the way the game plays, it just feels really good to pick up and play Destiny, and it's why a lot of times it's hard for me to play other first-person shooters because none of them quite live up to the way that Destiny does things. So I'm really looking forward to Rise of Iron. We've heard some really cool things about what Rise of Iron is going to be. Like some of the story beats we've heard about, like we're gonna learn about the origins of Gjallarhorn. I'm hearing, we're gonna learn about obviously the whole history of the Iron Lords, which there's some really cool stuff in there that we know from like the Grimoire cards that you get in the game, and yeah, it just sounds like it's gonna be a really epic story, and I'm just looking forward to it. We got the patch that came out recently. The private matches are live. Have you tried this yet, Bender?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet either. These went live a few days ago. I want to get in there and try and set something up and see how it goes. But I hear it's pretty cool though. Like you can really get granular with how you set up these matches, and it sounds like those are a lot of fun. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this too. Bungie's introducing these experience boosters with Rise of Iron, so you're going to be able to pay, use their in-game currency silver, which is the currency that you have to pay for with real money, and you'll be able to get experience boosters that you can use on your character. So you'll be able to gain experience via the Crucible, House of Judgment, which is Varix and his stuff, or Vanguard. So you'll be able to buy these boosters that basically let you, get more XP faster. It's nothing that I think would break the game in any kind of way, but I'm curious your guys' thoughts on it. And Frankie, let me start with you here. What do you think about in-game experience boosters on a paid-for basis?
I mean, I'm okay with it ultimately. Just because, like, yeah, sure. I mean, you'll be earning like your Vanguard packages and that kind of thing a lot quicker than just playing the game normally. But at the same time, even doing that, you're still not guaranteed anything great. I mean, like they're not charging you to buy the new Gjallarhorn, something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm okay with it. I don't know that I'd do it though. I mean, I guess it would help. I mean, I know they had like the Red Bull things like that gave you those. What were they? It's the something of light. That you burn one of those and like it would level up your weapons super fast, like stuff like that. It's. I mean, they've done it before, but I mean, it's not something. Like I said, I'm not personally going to be investing in it, but I guess it's a good option for people who just want to start leveling up things faster, or get more of these Vanguard packages a lot quicker.
Yeah, Bender, what are your thoughts on this idea?
I agree with Frankie. I think it's okay. I mean, they kind of give out all those boosters for free a lot of the time anyway.
Yeah, I've got quite a few of those in my inventory right now.
Yeah. You get them in the Sterling Treasures a lot of times, and sometimes they'll just randomly pop up. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think it's going to give anyone a significant advantage for getting those boosters or anything.
Yeah. I don't think so either. And like you said, at the end of the day, we're getting these things already. I mean, many players already have these in their lineups, and the people who are going to be concerned about somebody leveling up too quickly or any of that kind of stuff are probably going to be the people that are going to hit that max light level within a couple days, and they'll be ready for the raid on Friday, and so it'll be a moot point for them. So yeah, I don't see it to be too much of an issue. This is the kind of stuff that we see in these games nowadays. It's just something that Destiny's getting in on now. As they haven't released a base game, since the original Destiny came out in 2014. This is something they can do to continuously supplement revenue for the game is add stuff like these or get the Eververse trading company, that kind of stuff. So I mean, I don't have an issue with it. Also, Bender, we were noticing recently that a lot of people got this like glowing stuff around their head now. and
Yeah.
I can't quite figure out what it is. Apparently, it's a Destiny alternate reality game, and it involves people getting infected by these stat buffs that other people have. So let me just read this here. The ARG is called Owl Sector, and it's infecting players in game with stat boosting buffs. The infections can be tracked on the Owl Sector section of the Bungie website. There's 5 different infections in all: Brilliance 3.2, which is the one I have, Glory 2.1, Splendor 2.6, Magnificence 2.0, and Fortitude 3.1. According to the Owl Sector mega thread on the Destiny subreddit, players can become infected by picking up orbs from infected teammates in either public or private PvP matches. The rate of infection is tied to chat log unlocks. The more players contract one of the infectious buffs, the more information can be gleaned from the cryptic chat logs found on the Owl Sector site. Each buff has its own set of logs to view. So the question here, Bender, is what does this all mean? Is this pointing towards something? Is this giving us some kind of a clue? I know you don't have an idea. I don't have an idea. It'll be interesting to see going forward what becomes of this. What do you think about the idea that this is actually some type of like alternate reality game? I mean, Bungie and Destiny, they like to do this kind of stuff,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool for the people who want to take the time to look into it. It kind of reminds me of like Infamous Second Son had a thing called Paper Trail, where it was an in-game thing, but you would have to go to the website, a website to like the clues you found in the game. You would have to like figure them out on the website, and they would lead you to the next thing in the game. And it's kind of a symbiotic thing going on between the website and the game, and it was kind of cool. So that's kind of what this reminds me of. So I don't know what they're leading up to or anything, but it's definitely interesting though.
Yeah, those Bungie guys always got something working. We'll have to keep our eyes on the Destiny subreddit. I'm sure those guys are going crazy, and they, just like we talk about with Overwatch and some of the stuff that those guys have figured out. And these people get into these things and they figure out somehow, some way, they figure out some crazy information about the game that they're researching. So I'll keep my eyes out for the next couple days and see what becomes of this before Rise of Iron comes out. Something else that Bungie mentioned recently, guys, is that they are absolutely considering updating the old raids once Rise of Iron launches. Got a quote here from game director Chris Barrett. He gave this to Polygon, and he said that reviving old raids has always consistently been in the top 10 list. This list of like things that people request. Since the second raid came out, hey, we want to go back and play older raids. The simple answer is that it's a matter of priority. If we spend time bringing that stuff, that means less new stuff we can build. For this fall in Rise of Iron, we wanted new stuff. New. Let's get new places to go, new raids, stuff like that. But certainly we hear that fans would love to have a reason to go back to some of the old raids, so we're absolutely considering it. I mean, we've been hearing the same things. Hell, we've been saying the same things since the Taken King came out. Since the end of House of Wolves, we were like, man, it'd be nice to have those old raids updated. I don't know. I mean, obviously Bungie, they get paid to design games, do the stuff so they can figure out the best way to do it. I'm not sure the best way to do it if they would just put Taken guys in there or Siva guys or whatever and up the level on everything and put some of the new drops in there, or if they would have to make all new drops for these raids again. I don't know, but. It'd be interesting to see if they do something with this, because I know obviously a lot of people are jonesing to get back into these and get some meaningful drops from it. Frankie, what do you think, man? We gotta obviously we'll have to do a flawless run here at some point before this happens, but yes,
that's what I'm worried about.
That's what I've been saying all along, man. I'm worried that you're gonna change it. We're not gonna have a chance to do that flawless run.
This won't happen anytime soon, so I don't think we have to worry about it. But this could be something maybe they do in like an April update next year, or they update the old raids. What do you guys think of that? Would that be cool to see Crota Zen and Vault of Glass get a nice new coat of paint?
Yeah, I would love to like have a reason to go back through those, and like even now, like going back through them, you just do it because it's fun and you want to go back and play that raid again. But like the drops you get in that thing are worthless now.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be great if they went back and like made some kind of new weapon, even new, like, you don't necessarily have to go back and like make a year 3 Fatebringer or Vision of Confluence. Like, go and make new weapons for the raid. Give people like a good reason to go back in because you have new weapons to shoot for. That'd be fun.
Or they could also make a year 3 Vision of Confluence. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's also fine. I mean, I'd be totally okay with a new Fatebringer,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's really what I'd like to see them do. Is just go back in there, take the stuff that's already in there. Then you don't got to spend a whole bunch of time trying to come up with new stuff. Just take the stuff that's already in there, upgrade it to the year 3 levels, upgrade the raid. All the enemies in there to whatever level. These enemies are gonna be at now, and then just let us go to work on that and get some year 3 versions of some of our favorite stuff from there. I think that's I think that would be a solution that everybody could get behind.
Yep.
So we'll see what becomes of it. Also, alongside Rise of Iron, we are getting Destiny the Collection. As we talked about, this is a stellar package here. For the price of one singular game, you will get the entire first 2 years of Destiny alongside Rise of Iron in one nice, neat little package. This will be on the PS4 and the Xbox One. So you're going to get Destiny, The Dark Below, House of Wolves, The Taken King, and Rise of Iron all in one little package. So that
is an awesome deal for people who haven't jumped into Destiny yet. That is a lot of content.
Yeah, and that's days and weeks of our lives in one little box there. So you can get your bang for your buck out of that collection if you choose to get into that. But yeah, if you haven't gotten to Destiny yet, check out the collection. That's an awesome deal. So fellas, Tuesday, 5 a.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Bender Standard Time, the Rise of Iron will be live, and we'll have a brand new Destiny world to play inside of. We've kind of got a peek of it the last week here with with the last patch that they put in. We're seeing some of the things that are going to change with year 3. But we'll be all in this coming Tuesday. As far as our plans for the game, I know Tuesday night we are not staying up Monday night at 5 in the morning to play this game when it comes out. But Tuesday night we will be streaming the story missions of Rise of Iron. So we're gonna go in there, get started on the story, start chipping away at that. So tune into our Twitch channel, follow Short Pause Live on Twitch. We'll have it on there. Fellas, let's move on with the releases. Another big game this week, and that's Batman: The Telltale Series, Episode 2. The Children of Arkham will be upon us. I still have not played through Episode 1. Shame on me. You guys have, though. And I know you're looking forward to Episode 2.
Shame on you.
Yeah. Frankie, what are you thinking? Children of Arkham, you excited to get into this?
Really excited to get into this. Episode 1 was a great start to that series. Jen's super excited, so second she gets home from work Tuesday night, we're going to be firing that thing up. And yeah, I'm excited. That's, like I mentioned, this thing's off to a great start, so I hope Episode 2 continues to be impressive.
Benner, do you have an idea what the Children of Arkham subtitle means? Is that a reference to something that happened in the first episode, or what do you think?
Not that I can think of. Do you think so, Frankie?
I kind of think it might be a flashback episode.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, like Frankie said, the Episode 1 was really cool. It was a good start. I'm also really glad that they're keeping up with the schedule with this thing so far. So I hope they keep that up and release them on time each month. That'll be awesome. But yeah, it's a cool series so far. So I'm looking forward to playing Episode 2.
You guys committed to playing these as they come out now? You're all in?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Right on. So that will be the second of 5 episodes this Tuesday. The PS3 and 360 versions of Episode 2 will not be out this Tuesday. We don't have a release date on those yet, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that. This will just be the PS4 and Xbox One version of the second episode that we'll be seeing this Tuesday. Also coming this week is the official release of NBA 2K17. We talked about it on the last show. Got a Friday release for the early adopters or the early enlister or whatever the hell they call that edition of the game. But the actual edition that everybody will be able to get their hands on is available this Tuesday. So basketball fans, take note. We also found out that Dear Esther, the Landmark Edition, a game we've heard a lot about from the Chinese room, is making its way over to consoles for the first time. Be out on the PS4 this week. Franklin, have you ever played Dear Esther?
I have not. I've heard great things about it, however, so this is on my radar to try to squeeze in this week.
How would you describe this game, or is it like a psychological thriller, or what kind of game is Dear Esther?
That's what it sounds like. It sounds very similar, actually, to Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. Same type of game. But yeah, it's a lot more psychological. So,
yeah, I've heard some good things about it.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like if it's good enough to like bring to consoles after how long has it been out now? Like 5 years. Like
it's been a long time now. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's obviously something special with it. So
yeah. Bender, you get your eye on Dear Esther at all? No, you were a fan of Rapture, right?
Yes, I was. I reviewed that game and I really enjoyed it.
I remember.
Yeah, I've never known anything about Dear Esther other than the fact that it was made by the Chinese Room. And after I played Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, I was like, I think I want to play that game at some point. So I'm glad it's coming to consoles. I'll definitely be interested in checking it out, and because like Frankie said, I've heard good things about it too. So yeah.
Well, your wish has been granted. This Tuesday, Dear Esther: The Landmark
Yay!
Edition will be served up on a silver platter for our very own Bender. Along similar lines, we've got this Virginia game, which I've seen crop up in the news the last couple weeks. Now, Frankie, this game's kind of been described as Twin Peaks meets the X-Files with a little bit of adventure game in there. I don't know a whole lot about the game. The trailer doesn't show a whole lot. This looks to be some type of a thriller, murder, missing person, mystery type of game. Now, what have you heard about Virginia? Is this something we should keep our eye on?
Exactly everything that you said. But it's
about where we're at.
Yeah, it seems like it's getting some positive buzz. So
yeah,
I don't know, is this like a Thursday night indie spotlight candidate, maybe, or
possibly? There's quite a few games on this list here that I'm interested in. But yeah, Virginia is definitely one of them. Not sure what type of game this is or how it would be on a stream, but I'm definitely willing to give it a look. It actually releases on Thursday, so it would be a brand new game that would be streaming for the spotlight. Some would call this fate.
Indeed.
Others would call this nothing. So we'll see. I don't know. Bender, you got any interest in Virginia? Is this Twin Peaks, X-Files? Is that something that perks your ears up?
Don't know anything about it, so I don't know. Maybe.
Sweet.
I never really got into either of those shows, so I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll have to play it for you and report back then.
Yeah, let me know.
Another game I'm interested in is possibly being a candidate for the spotlight is Slain. We talked about this one on the last show. It didn't come out last week. It's coming out this week. But Slain, Back from Hell. This looks to meld Castlevania and heavy metal into a kind of a very cool pixel art looking game. I don't know, every time I see this game, it looks really cool. Now, I know when it originally released on Steam, the reaction was mixed, but they've gone back in there. They've changed a lot of stuff, updated a lot of stuff, a lot of the complaints that people had with the game. So this version that's coming to PS4 is kind of like the definitive edition. It's going to be out on Vita at some point as well. But yeah, I don't know. Slain looks really cool to me. Frankie, does this one do anything for you?
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure this is a Kickstarter game because I know I've seen that title before.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure it was because I know people were tweeting at Geo Corsi, hey, this got backed, get it on PlayStation. Yeah. So I definitely remember, looking through the Kickstarter and thinking to myself, yeah, if this ever came to PlayStation, I'd actually want to play this. So it looks interesting, like you said, like Castlevania meets heavy metal music. So.
Yeah, yeah. I love Castlevania. I love the pixel art style that this game has that we've seen in a few games over the months and years recently. I don't know. This looks really cool to me. This is definitely one I'm interested in. Now, what I want to get from you guys on this next one is where are we at on the name of this thing? When I see this name, I say Machinarium. How do you say it?
It's Machinarium.
It's Machinarium?
I used to say Machinarium as well, but then I was watching the Double Fine adventure thing, and Tim Schafer pronounces it Machinarium. Okay. I don't question Tim Schafer, so
yeah, no, he's not a guy to be questioned. I just figure this game's about machines, right?
Basically.
So Machinarium.
Never thought of it that way, but I guess that's
exactly
sense.
why I always used to call it that.
Yeah. If you go Machinarium, I guess you could say machinations or or something along those lines. But I don't know. I just feel like this game's about machines. I feel like this game should be pronounced Machinarium. Just putting it out there.
Like a machine aquarium.
I don't disagree with you.
Listeners, how do you pronounce this game? Let us know. Podcast at shortpause.com. Well, this will be out. It's a Wednesday release for the PS4. This has been out on PS3 and 360, I think, and just a plethora of platforms. Mm-hmm. It's making its way over to the PS4 now. This originally came out, like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think it was it was a browser game, like a...
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because I remember one of my coworkers showing it to me. Then it was on iPhone, and then by the time like I was looking into it, it had already been on PlayStation 3 for a long time. Then it came to Vita, so I got it on there as well. This game's all over the place. It's great.
Okay, nice. So it'll be on the PS4 finally this week. Another game I have a very high morbid curiosity for is The Bunker. I don't know if you guys have watched this trailer. This is a live action game. Mm-hmm. It's live action. There are actors that you're controlling in this game. It's a psychological horror game. The trailer is disturbing. You're basically the last survivor of this nuclear bunker that everybody's perished in, and I think it takes place in the 80s or something along those lines. And I don't know. I'm really curious to play a game with like real actors and real people in it. Like, there's no graphics in this game, from what I can tell. It's just you and actual live action people. This is another candidate for the Indie Spotlight. It looks freaky. I don't know, Frankie, have you seen this at all? Like, do you have any interest in The Bunker?
I didn't watch the trailer, but when I was reading when they announced that it was coming out, I was like, this sounds like, I don't know why, but I got like a Night Trap vibe when they mentioned like what it is.
Dude,
I don't know why.
Yeah, watch the trailer. This is not Night Trap. Night Trap is all time like cheesy full motion video. This is like actual, like, these are actors from like The Hobbit and Assassin's Creed and I think there's Game of Thrones. I mean, there's like actual actors like in this show. So I don't know. Watch that trailer, man, when you get a chance. Let me know what you think of it. It looks pretty wild.
Will do.
So The Bunker, another one we might see on the Spotlight. So we got 3 candidates for the Indie Spotlight this week. We got Virginia, we got Slain Back from Hell, and we got The Bunker. We'll fire up one of those games, 10 p.m. Eastern, on our Twitch channel. Once again, Short Pause Live on Twitch. Check us out there. Let's get on with the rest of these releases, guys. We got Jazzpunk Director's Cut. Frankie, what the hell is this game? We tried to talk about it when this was announced. It's some type of, it was described as like a comedy adventure. I don't know anything about this game. I can't make heads or tails of it from the trailer. Do you know what this game is or what it entails?
Nope. I just know that I'm gonna buy it because it's been spoken really highly of. Sounds like an adventure game, so
okay.
Why not?
Are we talking like point and click adventure here, or what are we talking here?
I'm not even totally sure. I've just seen like a lot of obscure things in that game, and I'm like, okay, whatever. It just looks weird, so
yeah,
I'll try it.
Very strange looking game. Bender, did you pop some shrooms and watch this trailer?
No, I didn't get to see it. No.
Yeah, when you get a chance, just take your drug of choice and go to a happy little place, and maybe you'll come back and tell us what Jazzpunk Director's Cut is all about. Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters Daybreak Special Gigs. Let me say that again. Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters Daybreak Special Gigs. That is the name of this game. It's a visual novel. It'll be out across all 3 PlayStation platforms this week. Doodle Kingdom, the latest in the Doodle series. This is a Monday release. Last Fight, which looks to be a Power Stone-esque kind of brawler. That'll be out this week. Toho, not sure how to pronounce this. Scarlet Curiosity, a action RPG set in the Toho universe, which you recently got a shoot 'em up from. So all kinds of games coming from this universe. We have Zenith coming out, which is an action RPG title. Also on the docket, Lithium Inmate 39, a crazy looking psychological horror game. Wow, lots of horror games on the docket this week. I think you're stepping inside the mind of this guy who's in an insane asylum, and you're trying to make heads or tails of what's going on inside of his mind. Something along those lines. Very creepy looking title. Worlds of Magic Planner Conquest will also be out on the PlayStation 4 this week. Air Conflicts getting a double pack at retail. So you too can own 2 of the worst rated games on the PlayStation 4 in one succinct package. I mean, who doesn't want that? Sign us up. Got some big DLC releases this week too, guys. Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, getting its Death Star DLC for season pass owners. Either of you guys own the season pass for this game?
No.
I might actually just spring for this when it actually releases for everybody.
Yeah, this sounds awesome. Like this mode, what do they call it? Battle something. What's the name of the battle station? I think Battle Station.
Yeah.
So the Battle Station mode is a 3-part mode that basically has you engaging in a space battle before going into the Death Star, and then the third leg of the mode is the rebels taking down the Death Star in a trench run. So this mode sounds awesome. Like I want to get in here and play it. Also, Bosk and Chewbacca are heroes now, so who doesn't want to be Chewie? So yeah, this DLC sounds awesome. I'm tempted to get back into it too. Won't be this week though. Obviously, it's Rise of Iron week, but I want to get in there and do one of those trench runs at some point. We're also going to see Deus Ex's first DLC this week. It's a Friday release, September 23rd. It's called System Rift. It brings back one of the characters from Human Revolution. Frank Pritchard will return to the Deus Ex universe with the System Rift DLC. Basically, how System Rift is described is you'll reunite with Frank Pritchard, Adam's friend and former colleague at Seraph Industries, and help him gain information on the mysterious Santo group. Desperate to get more information, Pritchard targets one of the most secure databanks ever created, the Palisade Blade. In agreeing to help, Adam may also be able to uncover hints as to who the Illuminati really are. Frankie, how far along are you in Deus Ex?
Restarting it.
Okay.
I
Wow.
was playing
Already?
it on Xbox, and
Okay.
I sent that thing out the other day, so
Oh, okay.
figure I only got about an hour into it, so I'll just restart it. No big deal.
Cool.
Kind of hoping to get through it this week because I have a staycation, so I got a lot of games I want to play this week.
Got Deus Ex on the docket then, so maybe next time we convene, you'll
Hopefully,
have
that'd be
completed.
nice. Dude, this is $11.99 by itself.
Yeah.
That's
How much
insane.
is the season pass?
$24.99.
$24.99. Okay. This is the first of what, 2 DLC packs or
Yes.
3?
It's I know it has 2 story packs in it, but I think there's a couple other things as
A couple
well.
other things are put in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously this will be included with season pass holders if you want to get it individually, $11.99. Don't know anything about the length of this or how much story content it's gonna add, or if it's gonna add any side missions or anything like that. You know, we just know the release date so far. We'll have to find out some more details down the line. The rest of the PlayStation releases this week on PS3, we're going to see Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters, as we mentioned, alongside NBA 2K17 for those of you that didn't get the early edition. And on the Vita, Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters, Doodle Kingdom, and Skylight Free Range 2, which looks like an unfinished PS1 RPG. So I'm not sure how that one's going to turn out. Let's get into the Xbox, fellas. Payday 2 Crime Wave Edition, the big score game bundle, came out last week. It's available on there now if you want to get Payday 2 and a whole bunch of DLC with it. Just Sing is also available on the platform now. Those were the 2 that we missed last week. Coming this week is, of course, Destiny Rise of Iron alongside Destiny the Collection. And Franklin, the Killer Instinct Definitive Edition, making its way over to the Xbox One this week.
Mhm.
As we talked about when this was first unveiled, this is about the 4th or 5th Definitive Edition that Killer Instinct has got for the Xbox One. So what are we getting in this package? This is basically, what is this? Is this everything? Everything Killer Instinct up to this point?
Yes. So if you had bought any of the Ultimate editions of either season, well, I guess any of the seasons because there's 3, so you'll get all these skins, all the characters from the first 3 seasons,
Mhm.
as well as the Killer Instinct 1 and 2 arcade titles.
The classic ones.
Yes.
Nice.
Then of course the soundtrack
Mhm.
and I don't know what else. I think the Shadow something. There's like a new
Oh,
Shadow mode. that's
Shadow
supposed to-
Jago or
No, there's a new
Oh,
mode that's
a
supposed to
mode.
be launching with this as well.
oh, okay.
I hope he's in there. That would be great.
Yeah,
if they stuck him in there.
Shadow Jago is in here, by the way.
That's good.
So he's included as part of the package. I mean, this is a sweet package for $39.99.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean-
If you haven't jumped into Killer Instinct yet, definitely this is the best value you're going to get out there for this thing. So pick it up. Absolutely.
This is a really good deal. Now I was trying to research this a little bit and figure out what was going on with the Play Anywhere part of this. I haven't got any definitive answers, but it appears that the disc version will just be the disc version, which is that how these Play Anywhere titles are going to be? If you buy it on disc, it's just the Xbox version.
I believe so.
So it seems like
I know the
that's the
PC
way
versions
these.
are codes.
Yeah. So it seems like that's the way these games are going. Like if you buy the physical Xbox One version, you just get that and that's it, which is strange. I
Yeah.
don't know why they wouldn't just all be Play Anywhere versions of the game. But on Amazon, there is a Xbox One digital code available for Killer Instinct Definitive Edition, and it does say on there that the Windows 10 version is included. So, as of right now, we'll stick with that. If you buy this game digitally on the Xbox One, it will include a Play Anywhere code for the PC, according to Amazon. So we'll have to get some more details Tuesday after the game officially releases.
I'll look at that tomorrow because I saw a copy of it sitting in the drawer today. So I'll look at it tomorrow when I get into work.
Yeah, because I could have swore, man, when they unveiled Play Anywhere that they had a logo for this thing, and I assumed that Play Anywhere logo was going to be on their like retail boxes for these games.
Yeah. Well, that was also when they were announcing it. Was Killer Instinct was on the first.
Yeah, it was like the first one on the list. It was at the top of the list, March 31st, whenever it came out.
Yeah.
It was right there at the top of the Play Anywhere list. So you'd have to assume this is a Play Anywhere title, but yeah, I don't know why the retail discs wouldn't get a copy of the code as well.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, why not just throw the code in there if it's a Play Anywhere title? Give it to everybody. But
Yeah.
I guess it is what it is. Maybe that'll change down the line. Also coming to Xbox this week, the Batman Telltale series episode 2, The Children of Arkham, of course, will be on there. Dear Esther Landmark Edition, NBA 2K17 will also be on Xbox 360. That'll be out this week. Firewatch making its way over to Xbox One this week. It'll be a Wednesday release, September 21st. Bender, you reviewed the game. It was a solid, if not spectacular, experience for you. I mean, is this something you recommend people on the Xbox check out?
Yeah, it was a good game. It's there are some things that bother me about it. I mean, I love the characters, I love the voice acting, I love the environment and the exploration. It just the overarching story didn't quite click with me. Like the ending felt a little anticlimactic and disappointing. But everything else about the game I really liked. I mean, I love the two main characters, Henry and Delilah. They were really cool, very well acted, and everything. Yeah. There's some emotional backstory to Henry's, backstory and everything that really resonated with me. But everything else just kind of fell flat with the main narrative of the game. But it's still a good game. It's still cool. I think it's worth playing. It's just not great.
Review up on the site.
Yes.
Yeah, my review is on the site if you want to read it. Definitely.
www.shortpause.com, of course.
Now,
Franklin, did you ever fire up Firewatch?
Oh yeah, I finished it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I remember when I first saw Bender's review, what I had played it, I was like, "Come on!" And then I finished it. I was like, "Okay, yep, I know exactly where you're coming from now."
you agreed with me when you finished the game?
Yep. the second the end credits hit, I looked over at Jen. She's just like, "Really?" It's like that. Damn.
Yeah.
But Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're actually adding new features to this version, right?
Well, Franklin, funny you should ask. I have it right here. We've got some new features coming to Firewatch with the drop of the Xbox One version. And it looks like there's going to be, in addition to the main game, there will be the Firewatch audio tour. The short version of it is it's 1 part scavenger hunt, 1 part museum tour, 1 part game developers workshop, mixed with a dash of inside Campo Santo goofs. We think you will like it very much. That's how Campo Santo explained it. The Firewatch audio tour will also be available for all players as a free update, it added, indicating that those on PC will be able to experience it when it's available. Campo Santo has also said it will be updating the game with a new free roam mode, in which players can live in the, how do you say this, Shoshone? Shoshone? Yeah. Live in the Shoshone with a full day-night cycle and explore with a few hidden secrets. So cool. So those things will come as a free update to people that currently own it. Now these are coming to the PlayStation 4 version as well, or is this just a PC? Okay. Mm-hmm. So some patch down the line, you'll be able to get this stuff added to it. So yeah. So Firewatch, Frankie and Bender, you guys say it's a solid game, something that people should check out, but the narrative could leave something to be desired, possibly.
True.
The rest of the Xbox releases, fellas. Virginia is a Thursday title on that system as well. Last Fight is coming over to the Xbox next week. The Bunker is a Friday game on the Xbox One. Eventide, Slavic Fable, the latest gem from our friends at Artifacts Mundi. That's your boys, Frankie. So I know you've got that one loaded up. You'll be able to find all those hidden objects without much of a hitch. That's a Friday release for the Xbox One. And of course, also coming to the system this week, the Death Star DLC and the Mankind Divided DLC, System Rift. Let's get into Nintendo now, guys. What we missed last week for the Wii U, WarioWare Smooth Moves. It's a Wii Virtual Console title on the system now for $19.99. Benner, did you ever fire that one up?
Yeah, that was a fun one. It was it's pretty cool. They used the Wii remote in different ways. There's different ways you had to hold it. There was a lot of humor involved in that game too, as is the case with most WarioWare games.
Yeah.
So I like that one a lot.
I really like the WarioWare games, man. I never actually played Smooth Moves. It was kind of a hard to find game, if I remember correctly. Like, it had a limited print run, and then it kind of was scarce for a little while there. So yeah, so it's good for people to be able to get their hands on it now for $19.99. And I could be misremembering that, but I seem to remember that Smooth Moves was a difficult to find game.
No, you're right.
Okay,
could be right. Yeah,
also,
make sure you have a Wii remote if you download that.
Oh,
one.
yeah,
just,
get it.
Just a public service announcement.
You need a nunchuck for this too?
No, just the Wii remote.
Just the Wii remote. Okay, cool. So grab yourself a Wii remote, hop into the Wii U version of WarioWare Smooth Moves. Also on the Wii U now, Shooty Space is on there for $2.99. Gear Gauntlet's a $10 title on the system. Brick Breaker, which I feel like Brick Breaker is on a system like every week on this show. But Brick Breaker is on the Wii U this week for $4.99. And then Enigma O's is on there for $6.99. This week, coming to the Wii U, Severed, Drinkbox's latest gem. It's going to be on the system on Thursday. It's part of the Nindies promotion, so you'll be able to get 10% off during launch week here. It's also going to be a cross-buy title with the 3DS. So if you buy it on the Wii U, it'll be waiting for you on your 3DS once it releases later this fall on that platform.
Sweet. That's what I'm doing.
So, sounds like 10% off cross-buy. Well, what more can you ask for, Bender, right?
That's a good deal.
Man, I have Severed on my Vita. I still haven't fired it up though. And I love Mutant Blobs Attack and Mutant Blobs and Guacamelee. They're some of my favorite games on the Vita. So I've done myself a disservice by not firing up Severed. I need to do that at some point. But next time I sit down to jump into a game on my Vita, it's going to be Severed. So Nintendo fans, take note. That'll be available this Thursday. For 3DS guys, what we missed last week, Splat: The Difference. That's an eShop game. It's on there now for $5. Polara is another $5 eShop title. And Kaleidoball for $1.99. You too can Kaleidoball on the 3DS eShop. This week, coming to the 3DS, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. I've always been confused by the Shin Megami Tensei series. I feel like this is peripherally related to like the Persona games. Aren't those Shin Megami games as well? I feel like there's a billion different. I feel like there's a billion different Shin Megami storylines, but this is Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. I haven't played any of the Shin Megami Tensei games. It's a RPG, an Atlas RPG. Many people enjoy this series. The trailer is very dark, very graphic. So if you're in the mood for a dark RPG, check out that on your 3DS this week. Whew, that's a new release list, fellas. A long one. That's how you know we're in the fall here. But the big game, Destiny: Rise of Iron. Can't wait to play that, man. Looking forward to it. This Tuesday.
I feel like this is the first time a Destiny release has come out with nothing that I'm itching to play the same day.
So what are you trying to say? You're gonna play Destiny on Tuesday?
I might. No.
Do it.
No.
We'll see. Keep your eye on Viper Strike on PSN. That's VYPRSTRYKE. We'll see if he's playing Destiny that day. Can he resist the urge? We'll find out.
It'll be challenging.
Guys, we got some news to get into this week, so let's hop into it. First on the docket, we had some big time delays this week, and we're gonna start with The Last Guardian.
Oh.
It's if 10 years of a delay wasn't enough, we got a couple more weeks at it on there. So The Last Guardian will now release in December. It was originally scheduled to come out on what was it, October 25th, I believe.
Yep.
The original date they had scheduled. Shuhei put up a blog post on the PlayStation blog very early this week. It was like in the early hours of Monday morning. And The Last Guardian is now scheduled to launch on December 6th, 2016. So not a huge delay. We're talking
That sucks.
5-6 weeks.
That's the same day that South Park comes out, dude.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Is it?
That's gonna be a busy day.
It really is.
Yeah, we'll talk about South Park in a second, but that's been delayed as well, of course. The Last Guardian, you know, I'm gonna say the same thing I said regarding Final Fantasy 15. I mean, this is a game we've been waiting for so long. I mean, is 5 weeks really gonna make that big of a difference? If it makes it a better game in the long run, like, this is a game that has to come out and work. If there's any qualms or any concerns that there's an issue, that there's an aspect of this game that may not work correctly, and it can be fixed by delaying the release by 5 weeks, like, you have to do it at this point. Like, this game has to work when it comes out. If the game's not fun to play and it's boring or the story sucks or something like that, like, that's another story. Like, that's something we can deal with after the game comes out. But this game cannot have technical issues when it comes out. Do you guys agree with that? Like, this game has to work after 10 years.
Yeah.
So, the rest of the stuff related to the game, that's going to be subject to people's opinion. But this game has to be technically sound when it comes out. So take a few more weeks. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like December 6th may actually be a better release date for this game. October 25th, you're like right in the heart of the fall season. This is going to be more of a niche title. I mean, I know Last Guardian has this epic backstory behind it, but for the casual like fall gamer that's getting Battlefield and Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff, like, Last Guardian's probably not on their radar. So this is probably something that could slip through the cracks on an October 25th release. But on December 6th, it's going to have more of the stage to itself, I feel like. So it may actually be a better date in the long run. What do you think about that, Frankie?
Yeah, for me personally, like you mentioned, coming out in the heart of the shooter season, like, I'm probably going to be knee deep in Titanfall 2. You got Dishonored and Watch Dogs that are around the corner.
Yeah,
Darksiders getting released. There's a ton of stuff coming out around there, and even for me, like, as much as I want to play Last Guardian, it would probably sit on the back burner. Whereas launching in December, just because, like, my work schedules get kind of stupid. There's usually one game that comes out in December I can focus some time on. Last year was Just Cause. Year before that was like Rainbow Six or something. Actually, didn't even get into that, but whatever. Either way, December usually something will come out that I can have the time to focus on that on weekends. So I'm actually really happy that they delayed it to December, because I think that's perfect time for to bring that game out.
Yeah, Bender, you fired up Xenoblade last year in early December. It seemed like that worked out in terms of like a good time for that game to come out. Is this going to be the same type of thing with Last Guardian, where it's going to give you a kind of a window at the end of the fall rush to be able to sit down and play this game for a little bit, and not have to worry about a bunch of stuff coming out around it?
Yeah, I think so. It'll be a good game to get me through the rest of the year and until we get slammed in Q1 2017 with everything that's what isn't coming out in that quarter.
They're just like, take all the big games from 2016 and push them to quarter 1 2017.
And a bunch of those are probably going to get pushed back even more. There's no way all of that is coming out in that same 3-month period.
Dude, this is exactly like what happened last year. Like, look at what February looked like initially, like at the end of last year. Like, it was insane. There's no way all these games stay in February. They can't.
No way.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We've seen some previews come out for The Last Guardian this week, too, guys. There's a demo up at the Tokyo Game Show this past week. It was like a 45-minute demo. Almost all the press got their hands on it. They've been playing through the game. We've heard that it's beautiful. We've also heard some interesting things about Trico, which is the big Falcor-like creature that's in this game. But I guess the AI is really advanced on Trico in so much that he acts like an actual like wild animal. Part of the game is trying to get him under control and being able to, just like you're training like your new dog or something like that, trying to train him to obey you and the to follow your voice and that kind of stuff. That's some of the things that you have to do with Trico. You have to. He actually acts like an actual animal, and he'll listen to you sometimes, and sometimes he won't. In fact, I was reading one demo for the game where the developers were going through and doing a demo of a section of the game, and they couldn't even get Trico to do what they wanted him to do because he kind of had a mind of his own. So there's going to be some advanced AI going into this game. I don't know, what do you guys think about that? I'm not sure if you've read any of the previews about the game, but Bender, what do you think about like making a game where the AI is so realistic, so advanced that this creature may not, listen to your beck and call when you want him to, and that is going to affect how you play the game. Is that a good idea? Is that maybe a little bit too realistic? I mean, what do you think, man?
I don't know. It sounds good in theory, but it may not be the best thing in practice because I mean, could be something that ends up being frustrating. Like, come on, just get over here, you stupid dog thing. like yeah. If it's not listening to you. I mean, in theory, it would be cool if he obeyed you better as the game went on, but that would mean at the beginning of the game when you're getting used to the controls and trying to get into the game and learning the story and the characters would be the time when he's most difficult to and unwieldy to control. So I don't know. It's something that sounds cool, but I don't know if it would be more frustrating than fun. I guess it kind of depends on how they do it.
It reminds me of Pokemon. Like, you remember? I assume the system's still in there, but if you have a Pokemon that's like a certain level, they don't obey you. So you have them try to do moves, and they either just ignore you or do something else. I don't know. That would get annoying if that's like a constant thing in the game.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm just incredibly interested to see how The Last Guardian turns out. There's been some concerns in some of the previews, but there's also been people that have really liked it. They say it's a beautiful game. It's coming along well in terms of the way that it looks. It's a very unique title, obviously from Ueda-san and Studio Japan. So man, it's going to be really really interesting to see this. And this is it, Bender. I mean, this is the follow up to Shadow of the Colossus, man. This is 10 years in the making. We are finally going to see the follow up to that game. So obviously some big shoes to fill coming in after Shadow. We'll see how The Last Guardian turns out. I'm interested though, man. December 6th, I think that's a good date for this game. I mean it's a week after Final Fantasy 15, so that's kind of a bummer, but be able to squeeze it in there sometime in December.
That's right around Gravity Rush 2 also.
Yep, Gravity Rush 2 in there as well. So I mean, there's some nice titles in late November, early December. There's no question about it. After that, the release list is going to settle down a little bit until we get into January. But I think there's going to be a window in there in December where I can fire up The Last Guardian and play it. I don't see it being a terribly long game.
Yeah.
This is probably not going to be like a 50-hour epic. So it's something we should be able to fit in over the course of a week or so.
Yeah.
The other big delay, as you guys alluded to this week, was South Park: The Fractured Butthole. It's been delayed.
You said butthole.
Yeah, it's been delayed to the barren wasteland that is Q1 2017.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah, because there's nothing coming out in Q1 2017.
Nope.
What's coming out in Q1 2017? Glad you guys asked, because I have a list right here. We're gonna talk about.
Wait, how many pages is that?
we're gonna talk about the games currently scheduled for Q1 2017.
Now, what months does Q1 cover here?
January through March.
All right, this can't be that bad.
So, can't be that bad, right? Beginning of the year, nobody likes to release their games, like to wait for the fall. That's how this stuff goes. So,
yeah,
not gonna be too many games on this list, right? Resident Evil 7. We know that one's coming out in late January. Yakuza 0. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, which hasn't been a fantastic series up to this point, but that trailer actually looks pretty cool for Ghost Warrior 3.
Don't let it fool
I won't. Yoshi's Woolly World, the 3DS version, be out in Q1. For Honor, the big new Ubisoft property, which I have an alpha code for that, and I have not had a chance to sit down and get into that. It's something I'd like to do tomorrow.
You can invite 3 friends to play that.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Maybe I'll send out some invites tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we got For Honor, Persona 5, of course, coming out at the same time as For Honor. Sniper Elite 4. Berserk, which is the anime title that's making its way over to the West. It's been delayed to Q1 2017 as well. Halo Wars 2 will be out in February. Horizon Zero Dawn, of course, one of the big February titles. Ghost Recon Wildlands. Mass Effect Andromeda could be out at some point in Q1 2017. Outlast 2. Shadow Warrior 2. Tekken 7. Sonic Mania. Yooka-Laylee. And a little thing that's codenamed the NX and all that that's going to entail. It's also a Q1 2017 item. So, fellas, nothing coming out in Q1 2017. So that's a good slot for South Park to slide into, right? Other things,
Sure.
The Last Guardian could get delayed again. This could be a Q1 2017 game. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, the retail release of Hitman is a January item. So, and who knows how many games the NX is going to launch with? I mean, it could launch with 20 games. Yeah. I mean, that's been their big thing, right? Like, they don't want to launch the NX. Maybe there's a Mario game they slip in there. Who knows? Who knows what they've got planned? Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah. Hopefully a lot.
The 3DS one. Not sure. What did they give a date on that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
a distinct possibility. I'd imagine that the first party, a lot of those games will come out before the NX, but maybe not. I don't know. They said they're going to support that thing up through 2018, so we'll see how that works out. But man,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of games released in 2017. Like you guys said, we'll have to see who sticks in there and who doesn't. But Bender, let me get your thoughts on South Park getting delayed, man. I know this was a game you were looking forward to.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but
Mhm.
I'm sure I'll have stuff to play in the meantime. And if they need the extra time to make that game good, I want them to take it. Delays are never bad, really. I mean, if a game gets delayed, that just gives them extra time to make it better and polish it up. So it's fine. I'm still looking forward to that game, and it is disappointing to have to wait a little longer, but it is what it is, and I'll play it when it comes out. I've already paid for it, and it's going to be ready to go on my PlayStation whenever it does come out.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, delays are just a footnote in the archives of a news site. The items of information or avenues to get your information. Like this release dates and things are going to be talked about in this digital age. So, they got to delay it. They got to delay it. Frankie, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I'm with you. If you gotta delay it, you gotta delay it. It does suck because that was gonna be my December game, but if I gotta replace it with Last Guardian, gotta replace it with Last Guardian. So it's alright with me.
I will. I'll be playing Final Fantasy all through December as well. So, I'm not mad about games slipping out of there into 2017. So we got a couple big name delays, and then we also got, as I mentioned, fellas, the Tokyo Game Show that was going on this past week. One of the interesting things that come out of the show that I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on was the first gameplay trailer for Metal Gear Survive. I don't know, I was watching this thing, and it actually it didn't look half bad.
Yeah.
The beginning part was cool, where they were like on doing these. There's basically two parts of the game from what we can see. There's like a I forgot what they called it, but there's like a mission where you're trying to gather supplies, or you're on some type of a mission. It's cooperative, obviously for up to 4 people, and I liked how they were doing some of the co-op stuff in the game, where you were attacking enemies together, you were sending people to do different tasks around the map, and kind of coming together at the end. Thought that was kind of a cool mechanic. But you've got the kind of mission action part of it, and then you've got the tower or not tower defense, but kind of defend your camp from zombies part of it at the end there, which was the part that I wasn't too excited about. Yeah. But yeah, so like the 4-player mission stuff looked cool. The whole defend your camp from zombies and put up barricades and stab guys in the head with your staff. It was very strange. Just felt like very un-Metal Gear. I mean, even some of that looked cool, though, the way you could delineate tasks or delegate tasks to the different people in your party and have people doing different things. So, I'll admit that the gameplay looked better than I thought it would look. It does have some Metal Gear elements to it. The storyline and the whole concept behind it is just very bizarre. So I'm not sure how that's all gonna work out. But the brief gameplay trailer we saw here does show a little bit of promise. At least in the mission part of it. I don't know. Did you watch this, Frankie? What'd you think of what we saw from Survive?
I caught like the first 5 minutes of it where they were sneaking up on him and they mentioned like the weak points on the back.
Yeah.
So like I saw him take out the one, and then like you mentioned, there was you had the one guy who like shot a slingshot at the zombie, and then the other person snuck up and like just like Spartan kicked him into like that the spike strip. I was like, geez,
Yeah.
that animation was hilarious.
You can use your environment to kill enemies too, which is cool.
So it looks cool. But yeah, like you like the kind of tower defense-y type of stuff. I don't like. That's what I didn't like about Sunset Overdrive. Because that's you have to do that. You have to do stuff like that when you're cooking your amps. You have to basically fend off all the OD from getting in that area. I don't enjoy any of that stuff. I don't find it fun at all. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to have in a Metal Gear game. I think for sure. It might be cool when you play it. I don't know. I mean, the game looks like it's running good from what we saw in the trailer. It looks like it's got a nice high frame rate. It's running on the Fox engine. They've got some of the developers who worked on Metal Gear Solid 5 on the Survive team, from what I've read. So it's just a very weird concept, a very weird idea. The whole thing with the wormholes and people from other dimensions or things from other dimensions coming into this one, and you're trying to get your way out. It's a very just bizarre concept, but there could be some cool stuff in there, especially when you're playing with your friends. So at first blush, kind of pleasantly surprised by what we saw with the trailer, but there still are some concerning things. I'm not sure how it's going to work out in the long run. Sony also had their Tokyo press conference this year. Nothing like earth-shattering in terms of announcements or anything like that, but we got a new trailer from Final Fantasy 15. Looks awesome. I thought it was like a 4 or 5 minute trailer. Game just continues to look badass. I love the chocobo riding sections. I love the flying car. Like, that stuff looks awesome. The storyline looks like it's going to be really cool with Noctis and his father and some of the stuff that they're going through. So I'm pumped for this game, man. November 29th. Like, this is. Now I was thinking too with all these games sliding out of 2017. Like, I think this is the game. Like, this is my most anticipated game of the fall of 2017 outside of Rise of Iron. But this is like the new game that I'm looking forward to getting into most. Bender, what do you think, man? With everything that's moving out of this year and what we're left with in 2016, like, what's the one game you've got your eye on for the end of this year?
I mean, I am excited about Final Fantasy 15 and The Last Guardian. I think those are the two that really stick out for me for the rest of this year. Yeah. I can't really think of any other ones that I'm super excited about. I mean, South Park was one, but
Paper Mario?
Oh yeah, Paper Mario. That looks like it's going to be a good one too. That'll be the last big Wii U game maybe ever.
Probably. Yeah.
Zelda.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah. Yes.
That'll be the last Wii U game ever.
Yeah.
That'll be
the last game like ever for the Wii
U. Maybe.
Yeah. Unless there's some third party that sneaks something out there.
But when I think of Breath of the Wild, I think of it as an NX game. Really, I mean, I don't really think of it as a Wii U game anymore because I know I'll be getting it on NX. So, But yeah, Paper Mario is definitely going to be one I'm looking forward to as well. Thank you, Frankie.
Yeah, like Frankie, like I'm looking forward to Infinite Warfare. I'm looking forward to Battlefield 1. I think those look awesome. Looking forward to The Last Guardian. But Final Fantasy 15, like that's the one that I'm like most juiced about right now. Hoping I can sit down and play that throughout December. What's the game on your radar, man? I mean, if I had to guess, I'd probably say you'll say Mafia. But
yes.
What say you?
I mean, outside of going with that obvious choice, I'm gonna actually kind of divert a little bit and do PlayStation VR. Having tried Battlezone today, I want Battlezone. I want Valkyrie. Like I want to play those games really bad now. So like Battlezone is, I kind of got like an Valkyrie vibe from it. It starts in a similar way. Like you're in your tank. You're being like brought up. They're prepping you for going out there. It's cool because you look around, you're in the tank. You got like your little radar in front of you. You look down, they have like a digitized DualShock controller in your hand.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
Are the motions like 1-to-1? Like you see your fingers like pushing the buttons and stuff, or
No, it just has the
Okay.
controller. But like if you're
Okay.
moving it around, it'll shift around. But you don't
Gotcha.
actually have hands in the game.
Gotcha.
The only thing that I kind of bummed me out about it is when you aim, it's with the right stick. It's not like a head tracking aiming, which would be a lot more efficient, I think. But I don't know. I still had a really great time with it. So like that and Eve Valkyrie are probably my two big VR things I'm really excited to play. Outside of course, Mafia 3 on PS4 when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. Mafia 3. The more and more I read about that, like, sounds really awesome. Yeah, I really want to get in there and play that game as well. Hoping I can set aside some time to get into that. So that, I mean, there's still some big titles coming out this year. Still obviously Watch Dogs 2. There's Mafia. We talked about Gears of War, obviously coming out. Forza will be out in a couple weeks here. So there's still some big games on the horizon here. But yeah, my money's on Final Fantasy 15. Man.
Oh crap! I forgot. We probably should have mentioned that in the new releases. The Ultimate Edition of Forza comes out on Friday.
The Ultimate Edition of
Horizon 3.
Oh.
It's one of those, if you buy the Ultimate Edition, it comes out 4 days early. So it comes out on Friday.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it.
It's not on Microsoft's website. Yeah,
of course it's not. It's been weird because Amazon had it listed, but they didn't delist it, but the date shifted back to the 27th. But then they fixed it, so now it's back to the 23rd for the Ultimate Edition. I don't know why they wouldn't advertise that. It's very strange.
Because I didn't. There's nothing on the Xbox site. There's nothing on the Xbox store. GameStop doesn't have it listed. Neither does Amazon for this next week. So I didn't.
Yeah, we sold out our allocations for it, so they probably pulled the listing.
Okay.
I totally forgot about it. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so there you go. Forza Horizon 3 Ultimate Edition will be out this Friday as well. I guess if you got your hands on one of those. Was it just a limited pre-order thing?
It's kind of like that Gears Ultimate Edition. You know how they're doing the early release?
Yeah.
And it comes with like a steelbook, season pass, all that crap.
Yeah.
It's that.
Can you still order it now, or was it like a limited thing? Or
I mean, you could probably still pre-order it on Xbox if Amazon and GameStop all pulled all their listings down for it. I imagine they're shipping them out this week, so they probably pulled all the pre-orders for it already.
Okay. Yeah, one on the Xbox store on the PC. I was looking for the releases and stuff. Didn't see anything on there. So
that's strange. They wouldn't mention that.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been on there. I just may not have been able to find it. It's not the easiest, most intuitive thing to navigate. So,
yeah,
it's always a possibility. But all right, cool. So good to know that. So, yeah, still quite a few titles due out for the end of this year. We saw a trailer for Final Fantasy 12 too. That's another possible Q1 2017 game, but that's looking good as well. Fellas, we also saw that Final Fantasy 15 limited PS4 Slim bundle as well, which actually looks pretty cool, I thought.
Did you see the price tag though?
I did. $450. So it looks cool, but not that cool.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Another 500 gigs is worth another, what is that, $200 or so? No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously the game's in there. They've got the limited graphic. You said it's a 1 terabyte hard drive, right? In there. Yeah. So you got to think that that's probably $50 more. That's usually how they do that. So that would jack the system up to $350. There's a limited steelbook edition of Final Fantasy 15 in there. I'm not sure if there's any additional content in there, but maybe that's where they're getting the extra $100 for out of you. I don't know. But it's a limited GameStop only thing. It'll be launching on November 29th with the actual game. Brent was asking me if I was getting. I was like, dude, there's no way in hell I'm getting this thing. It's like $450. Yeah, I'll spend $400 and get the PS4 Pro before I ever think about getting another regular PlayStation 4. There's no way in hell I'm getting a Final Fantasy 15 limited edition bundle. But if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you're looking to get into the PlayStation family, check this one out. So it's gonna be a limited collector's thing. The Vita's getting some new colors, fellas. It's only in Japan though. They got a metallic red and a silver. So get your import game ready. Maybe some of these can come over the GameStop. They could join that. What's that aqua blue one they did recently?
Yeah, dude, that would be great. I
Yeah.
want a red Vita so bad.
Yeah.
Like I'm just itching to buy a new Vita, and I want a red one.
That red one looks badass. Looks awesome. So, it's a slick looking system. I like that silver one too. They got so many colors out in Japan. The Vita still does well every week out there. It's routinely the basically the second highest selling system after the 3DS, or some weeks the PlayStation 4 might be up there. But yeah, but the Vita is still a hot seller in Japan, so they get all the cool new colors. Damn it. Bender, go out there and buy a Vita so we can get some colors out here.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll import one. They're not region locked, are they?
No.
No.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
There was something I remember hearing, like one of the, I think it's Square and Circle. No, Circle and X. They're kind of like the Nintendo thing where like you would think bottom would be A, top is B, like it's flipped on the Japanese version. So that's the only like major thing to watch out for if you do import one.
The actual buttons are flipped, or just their functions?
Their functions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
Be hard to get used to.
Yeah. So you're saying basically Circle would confirm everything and X would cancel everything in Japan. So it's probably something you get used to after a little bit.
Yeah,
probably. That's certainly handheld. Yeah, I mean, why not?
Now speaking of Q1 2017, there's a few games I didn't mention in there, and that's because they were in this press conference and they got some release dates. Now, a game that I remain excited about, guys, is Nier Automata. I think this game looks awesome. This looks incredible. Every time I see it, the combat is incredibly fast paced. I mean, this looks like Platinum Games at their best. So this Nier Automata just continues to look like just a total badass game. We got a release date at the conference here. It'll be out in February, Q1 2017, of course. Also, Q1 2017, Kingdom Hearts 2.8, whatever the hell the subtitle is to this game, gets a January 2017 release date. This is it'll be out in the West here, January 28th. Be out a couple weeks earlier in Japan, but this game was originally scheduled to come out in December. It's now coming out in Q1 2017 with everything else on the planet. And got a release date for Neo as well. It's a worldwide release date. September, was it? Not
February
September.
9th,
February 9th. Yeah, that's what I meant. February 9th, Neo gets a release date. This is another one that was supposed to come out in 2016. Jeez. Just butchering the English language here. So another one that was scheduled to come out late this year got moved into 2017. And, I mean, this for a couple weeks in February, it is going to be an incredibly busy time of the year.
Yeah, you mean the entire month?
but over the course of like 10 days, I mean, we're getting Neo, we're getting For Honor, we're getting Persona 5, we're getting Horizon, Nier Automata is going to be in there. Halo Wars is maybe a few days after that, but there's so many games within like a couple week stretch there in February. It's incredible. It's going to be a good gaming winter for us. Frankie, where are you standing at on Neo right now? I think this game continues to look cool. From what I saw, the beta impressions were positive. Impressions were positive out of Tokyo Game Show here about this game. This thing, it looks like a really cool samurai Dark Souls game.
Yeah, exactly. That's my main interest in it. We talked about it plays very much like a Souls game.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy a challenge. I enjoyed what I played of the beta when was that, like back in June or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a good time with it. I didn't bother. I'm still, if they do any more tests, I'm not going to bother. Like, I'm already sold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw what I wanted to see. Yeah, sure, I have some criticisms of it, but still, like, it's a game that I would enjoy. So I will be for sure picking that one up. I have to go through that list and like really start, weeding out the ones I really want to play.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, it's man, Q1 2017, man. Incredible. I think there's a couple other games in this list, in our news list, that are going to slip into that time slot as well. Man. Also announced, Earth Defense Force 5. Frankie, you jumping up and down?
Yeah. Dude, these games are dumb. I love them.
I still haven't played an Earth Defense Force game. I want to play them, though. They look like they're like a ton of fun.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're actually just garbage, but stupid garbage. My kind of garbage.
Your kind of garbage?
Yeah. I dabbled with the one that came out on the Vita. I think it was 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one was it's kind of hard to pick up and play because it's really awkward to play.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those weird things you need to experience. Just like you run around, then just all of a sudden, like this bridge around is just flooded with all these giant ants. Apparently, this one has frogs in it, so
Nice.
whatever.
I mean, there's just something appealing about like giant bugs like infesting your city, and you just flying around in a jetpack and shooting them. I mean, that just sounds like fun. Bender, you ever had any interest in Earth Defense Force?
I've never played one, so I mean, I don't think I've even seen someone play one before. So I've heard of them, but I've never watched gameplay or anything.
Yeah, there's 5 of them now, man.
Wow.
There's a bunch of these. People love these games. So they're like Frankie said, they're supposedly dumb fun and they're a little bit absurd and sometimes they've got their technical quirks, but people love them. It's just the idea of just flying around in a jetpack and shooting monsters. It just gets people going, I guess.
Nice.
So there's another one of those coming to PS4. I think this is the first one that's been developed primarily for PS4. If I'm not mistaken. So that'd be cool. We got the Musu Stars was announced as well, which is like a Tecmo Koei version of Smash Brothers. So you've got, people from like the Atelier series and Ninja Gaiden, like all in one group. It's a very strange mixture of people. I'll be interested to see how that one comes out. Not sure if that one's gonna make it out of Japan or not.
Sure will.
Sure will. Think it's coming.
At least for me.
It's gonna make it to your shelf.
I'll import it.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Now, fellas, this is a little guy by the name of Kojima. He made an appearance at the Tokyo Game Show as well. He had a few more things to say about Death Stranding. We found out that Death Stranding is going to be open world, first of all, which is interesting. I'm not sure if you would have guessed that from the Norman Reedus butt ass naked trailer. And it will have co-op elements as well, or online elements. So this is what Kojima had to say. Details on the story of Death Stranding were scarce, but Kojima said that the title was inspired by whales and dolphins who sometimes get stranded on the beach. That's a very Kojima answer right there. So Norman Reedus, butt naked on the beach with some like godlike beings overseeing him and some weird baby attached to him via umbilical cord, was inspired by whales and dolphins on the beach. So awesome. The title is about something from another world stranded on our world. Death Stranding will be an open world game with a lot of player freedom, and co-op will be a feature. Kojima also reiterated that a lot of the same cryptic stuff around Death Stranding's themes that were revealed to us back at E3. He said that he finally decided on an engine to build Death Stranding, so production can begin in earnest, and he closed his presentation by saying that he and his team plan to accommodate 4K and HDR. Well, I would assume so, since this game is you would have to assume is years down the line, since production hasn't even started in earnest. So I think it goes without saying that 4K and HDR will be a part of this. Kojima said, "We want to prove that indie studios can produce AAA world-class masterpieces." Man, is Kojima Productions an indie studio now?
No, come on. I mean, I guess sure, technically that nobody owns them.
They're kind of like an indie studio now, right? They got Sony backing them.
Yeah, I mean, just as indie as Insomniac, I suppose, or CD Projekt Red,
which is not very indie at all.
Yeah, right.
Nice. All right, you guys. I don't know. What do you think about that? Open world co-op. That get you feeling one way or another about Death Stranding, Frankie?
The sci-fi. It seems like there's going to be a sci-fi element, right? Like you only got something from another
sure.
world. Yeah, I'm intrigued at that alone. So, yeah, it's Kojima, so I'll be there on day one, regardless.
Yeah. Bender, do you have an interest in Death Stranding at all? I mean, when you see like the sci-fi elements, you see like those beings that were like floating in the distance in the trailer. That's something you could get behind.
Yeah, it was a very interesting trailer. I mean, we really don't know anything about the game other than what we were just talking about being open world. I think that sounds cool. Now I hope he just goes away and makes the game and doesn't tell us anything about it. I don't want to hear anything else about this game until like 6 months before it comes out. Because because as it looks right now, I mean, if he keeps giving us updates every few months, I mean, we're going to be hearing about this game, and the hype is going to die. And because this game is like what 3 years away, probably. So he needs to just
optimistic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He just needs to go make the game. Great, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Go make it, and don't tell us anything else about it until it's until it's ready to go.
It's a Kojima works in mysterious ways. I love that dude though. I can't wait to see what becomes of Death Stranding. Just a really interesting guy in gaming. We also found out what Platinum Games' next collaboration is going to be. We'll be working with Cygames on a project called Grand Blue Fantasy Project Relink, which is due for release sometime in 2018. It'll be coming to both the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR. It's I guess it's in the same world as this mobile RPG that I guess is big in Japan. It's been downloaded over 10 million times. So that'll be out sometime in 2018. That's what Platinum's got their hands in now. And Frankie, we got a new trailer for Danganronpa 3. It's coming to PS4 and Vita in early 2017 in Japan. We're still waiting on some Western details. I mean, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that this game's gonna come out here, right?
Yeah, it has to.
All the other ones have, even though the weird another episode came out here. So I feel like it's a pretty safe bet that new Danganronpa V3, which is the official name of this game, will make its way over here. Also, female protagonist for the first time in the series.
Cool.
So cool. From what I understand, Danganronpa 2 had a pretty like I don't know, like twisty kind of ending. So a lot of people are waiting for version 3. Did you
Sounds right.
did you ever finish Danganronpa 2, Franklin?
Nope. I didn't even finish the first one yet.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
when I get my red Vita,
There you go. When you import your
finish
metallic
those.
red Vita, get to work, man.
Yeah.
Get that knocked out.
finally.
So that's gonna do it for the Tokyo Game Show. That was the big stuff that came out of there. Let's get on with the rest of the news now, guys. To the shock of absolutely no one, Assassin's Creed: The Ezio Collection was officially announced. It is coming out this November. Obviously, it includes the Ezio game, so Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. There will be no multiplayer elements in it. This is just a single player stuff like we've seen with a lot of these collections in recent memory. November 15th is the North American release date. November 17th in Europe. Be coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This will, of course, give Ubisoft an Assassin's Creed presence this holiday season now. Franklin, what do you think about this collection, man?
It's great. I'm glad all the single player DLC is included.
Mhm.
I was talking to Jen earlier about this, and actually, this is one of the franchises that she's always wanted to play. Of those, I've only finished 2, so I'm more than happy to oblige and go through Brotherhood and Revelations finally. So I'll be picking this up for sure.
Gotcha.
Starting it though might be a different story.
Yeah, we know how that goes. Also includes the animated film Embers, as well as a 3-part feature that fleshes out Ezio's backstory called Assassin's Creed Lineage. Bender, any interest in getting into Ezio's story here? Maybe seeing what this is all about.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I've never jumped into the Assassin's Creed series before. I've heard. I mean, they must be good since they've made so many. So
They've only made 17 of them. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think you would really like 2 a lot.
you think so?
I think that's a Bender game.
Okay, cool. I might have to check it out then.
Assassin's Creed 2 gets the Bender stamp of approval. So go out there and check out the Ezio collection. We don't know any kind of technical stuff about this. All we've got is they will feature better graphics. So we don't know if we're talking 60 frames, if we're talking 1080p, if we're talking, we don't know what we're talking in terms of upgrades to this system, to this.
Has
Go ahead, Frankie.
Ubisoft done a remaster?
Dude, that was literally the question that was about to come out of my mouth. Like, has Ubisoft ever dipped their foot into the remastered pool? I don't think they have.
I don't think they have this generation.
Well, I mean they've gone back and they've toyed with some like Rayman
Like-
games. Like they
Yeah.
had Rayman 3. I remember on the PlayStation 3 they brought over from
Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil. They've done. I mean, I guess there's a couple examples. they've never done like a grand production like this though. Like I don't know how much was
Yeah.
involved in this. To me, this collection feels like this was a bunch of guys sitting in a boardroom this summer, and they're like, "Damn, man, we don't have any Assassin's Creed this year. What can we do? Like, I don't know. Let's just throw the Ezio games out there for PS4 and Xbox One." And they're like, "Okay." They slap together a team and rush this out in a couple months. That's what it feels like this game was to me. Whether or not they had this plan all along, I don't know. But we didn't hear anything about it. It's just kind of popped up on ratings boards. Now it's coming out. We have this very vague will feature improved graphics. So that doesn't bode well. Like usually when people like spend time on these and they really dig into them, like we see like with the Batman collection that's coming out, like we know that those are on Unreal Engine 4. We know some of the fancy upgrades that those are getting, but this just I don't know how this is going to turn out, man. I don't know if this is going to be much of an upgrade at all over the PS3. And maybe we see an increased resolution. Hopefully we get some better frame rates, but who knows?
At least like they're actually out there announcing it. It's not like one of those Activision. By the way, Transformers is available today. One of those releases. So
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I hope
Nah,
it'll be all right.
I'm with you, man. It's not the Activision stealth release, thankfully, but I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. I just have a feeling like we're not going to see any great improvement in those games.
Yeah.
We'll find out though.
I do remember too, like looking really nice at the time, anyways. So
Oh yeah.
it might not be like a like a really involved port job. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, Assassin's Creed has typically been a very beautiful series. It's been at the height of whatever system it's been on technically at the time of its release. We've seen that. Even though Unity, for all of its problems, was a very beautiful game. It was a striking looking interpretation of France. Obviously, Syndicate was a beautiful game. Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 1 was a big deal when that came out. So they've always been technically very beautiful. So hopefully they keep that up with the Ezio collection and they make a nice deal out of that. Fellas, have you guys seen this Sonic Mania Collector's Edition?
Sure have. It's in my Amazon order list.
This thing's rad, man. So Sonic Mania, which I'm guessing was going to be a $20 download title, maybe, is now ballooned into some $60, $70 collector's edition buy, which is what it looks like. But this collector's edition is awesome, man. So you got this box, which is modeled after the old Sega Genesis boxes. Like this is like Sonic the Hedgehog 1 style box with the grid lines in it. So you've got that box. You've got this awesome statue with Sonic standing on a version of the first version of the Genesis, and it's got a button, Frankie. It's a 12-inch statue with a button. And when you hit that button, what happens?
Sega.
You have the classic Sega announcer line, whatever that used to come at the beginning of all their games. So that's awesome, man. I want this thing. It's got a metallic collector's card with a download key. Not sure what you're downloading with that. Maybe that's just the game.
It's the game.
Yeah, it's just the download key for the game.
Yeah.
Then they've got this Sega cartridge with a golden ring on it, which is interesting. Can you actually put this in a Genesis and play it, or?
I don't know. That's a good looking question.
Curious, because why make a Genesis cartridge? I mean, it looks like it's got the contacts and everything. Maybe it's just for show, though.
I'll find out.
Yeah.
So guy.
So I'd imagine you wouldn't be able to play it, but yeah, this collector's edition looks badass, man. I might have to pick one of these up myself. Frankie, you said you already ordered this?
Yep, already there.
Already got it. Bender, you
$55.99 Amazon Prime members.
There you go. Bender, you all over this $70 edition?
Maybe. That Sonic statue does look pretty cool, and I love that Sega startup noise. It's the best. So much nostalgia.
Dude, what's Mario gonna think when you come home with a Sonic statue, though? Are you gonna be pissed?
I've already got a Sonic amiibo, so it's whatever.
He may not forgive you.
Mario will learn to live with it.
So that's a rad collector's edition. I'm probably gonna end up picking that up as well because that's what I do. Buy these things. Fellas, we're gonna take a break now. We got some music from Ruel Ethan. It may or may not be new. But we got some music coming up for him at the break. Check it out. Follow him at Ruel Ethan on Twitter. We'll be right back. And welcome back. That's usually what Brent does, right?
Yeah.
Spot on.
Something along those lines. Once again, thank you to Ruel Ethan for supplying the music for the show. You know, he does the opening credits, the end credits, the middle intermission. You know, we love your music, man. The people who listen to this podcast love your music, so we can't thank you enough for supplying the tunes for the show. Once again, follow him on Twitter at Ruel Ethan. Guy does a lot of stuff in the music world, so follow him and check out everything that he does. Guys, let's get on with the news here. We've got an interesting story from the world of No Man's Sky, which is kind of the game that just is eternally in the news for one reason or another. But this week, Shuhei Yoshida, you may have heard of him, president of Sony Worldwide Studios. He came out and he caused quite a stir when he said No Man's Sky didn't have a great PR strategy. Boy, this sent some people into a tizzy. So let's see what Shuhei had to say. So he said, he said this to Eurogamer. I understand some of the criticisms, especially director Sean Murray is getting, because he sounded like he was promising more features in the game from day one. It wasn't a great PR strategy because he didn't have a PR person helping him, and in the end, he is an indie developer. Shuhei also said that he really enjoyed the game, and he pointed to its future growth as a reason to stay excited for it. No, he went on to further say, Sean Murray says their plan is to continue to develop No Man's Sky features and such, and I'm looking forward to continuing to play the game. I'm super happy with the game, actually, and I'm amazed with the sales the game has gotten. So I'm not the right person to judge if it has harmed the PlayStation brand. Not sure about that, but I personally don't think so. If anything, I am proud that people can play No Man's Sky on PS4 as well as PC. And once again, future free updates, which will improve, expand, and build on the No Man's Sky universe, are coming. So this is a game that's constantly going to be worked on and added to and kind of fixed up over the months. So this could be a different game a couple months down the line. We'll see. Bender, you have the platinum in No Man's Sky.
I do.
So you played it for a little while, and I know you enjoyed what you played of it. I mean, is this... what do you think about what Shuhei is saying here, where he says No Man's Sky didn't have a great PR strategy?
That's probably true. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I didn't have the sky high hopes that some people had for this game. Probably because I don't think I was following it as closely as some people were. It was a game that I knew I wanted to play, so I wasn't like following every little detail about it leading up to launch. So I didn't know all of the things that he had promised before the game launched. So I was happy with my experience with the game. And as they roll out these updates and improvements and add new features to the game, I'll go back to it and play it some more. It's going to take a long time for me to get to the center of the galaxy. So, but yeah,
by your count, it took you a half hour just to scroll the map to the center.
Scroll the map, yeah. I held the controller forward on the star map for a half hour, and before I finally got to the center of the galaxy on the map. So yeah, it's going to take a long time to get there. Yeah, even though I do have the platinum, I'm definitely going to go back to it, and as I add these new features. It's not a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it actually has crashed on me several times, but despite that, I've still enjoyed it. I've still wanted to go back to it every time, and but yeah, it's a good game. I don't know. I guess I can't blame people for having high hopes for it. If Sean Murray did promise everything that they're saying he did, but I was ignorant of all that, so I didn't care. So I just liked the game from what I played of it.
Yeah, and this game was kind of just a victim of the way things turned out. I don't necessarily know if this was the strategy on Sony's part like that. I don't think they expected it to go this way, but the game was unveiled too early. Like, they got on the VGX Awards. They were like the big talk of the show when this game was officially revealed. And, it just got revealed too early. It wasn't ready to go at that point. It was, obviously years down the line until the game actually officially came out. So, and this is a unique game. It's a unique concept. It's something that Sean Murray was obviously very passionate about. So, sometimes did he let his passion get the better of him when he's talking about the game? Maybe. But the guy loves his game. He loves what his team's doing. He's behind the concept. Sony was behind the concept. Like, this is a very different type of title that they wanted to push out there for their platform. They knew it was something that was only going to be available on PS4 and PC. So of course they're going to get behind a game like this. And maybe it didn't turn out exactly like they expected, but the sales have been spectacular on the game. I know there's been some issues with returns or whatever, and I don't know how many of those eventually came into play, but I mean, it's just the way the game turned out. I don't think Sony expected the game to take 3 years for it to get finished or released or whatever. It's just kind of a victim of circumstance. So was the PR strategy not the greatest? Yeah, and that's hindsight's 2020. But it is what it is, and like you said, Bender, we'll see where the game goes from here, how it updates. You've enjoyed the game. There's plenty of people that are enjoying the game. So if you're not enjoying the game, okay, well, don't play it. If you are enjoying the game, play it, enjoy the game, have fun with it, and get excited when Sean Murray releases a new update. Frankie, what do you got to say on this subject, man?
Quite honestly, like, the same people I see raising a stink about all this stuff are the same people who were complaining about it a month ago, who aren't buying the game anyways. The people out there saying, oh, well, the multiplayer features, like, look, I like Bender, I didn't follow this game much coming out, but not once have I ever thought to myself, man, I can't wait to buy No Man's Sky to hook up with Bender and Ben and Brent and just fly around space and, be space pirates and stuff. I never once got that vibe from this game. Like, even essentially, like, when the media got their hands on with it and started talking about what this game actually is, which is exactly what came out, by the way. Like, I knew when it was coming out, like, I knew exactly what I was getting into, knew it wasn't going to be for me, but I still gave it the benefit of the doubt, wanted to try it out. That pans out sometimes. You play a game in a genre you don't care for, and it's still a lot of fun. I don't think No Man's Sky is for me, but again, like, I don't feel like I was misled about anything. Now, I don't know where these people keep coming out of the woodwork who want to keep, like, mentioning, like, all this multiplayer crap, or, like, I don't understand any of it. It's just a bunch of people who need something to complain about for this game who aren't even playing it themselves. And that's the part that's really infuriating to me. Because I can tell you, like, firsthand, like, any people who are, like, actually parting ways with that game, most of them, they had a fine time with it. It was an easy platinum. They enjoyed their time with the game. I've only talked to maybe a couple people who actually really despised what that game was. But even at that, like, it was their friends told them, and they knew what they were getting into coming into it. I don't understand where, like, all this weird internet hate for this game is. Like, it seems just isolated to that group of people who don't have No Man's Sky and aren't playing it on PC or another console. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, welcome to the internet, man. That's
Yeah.
that's what these groups do. It's like the people that bitch and moan and complain, and a lot of the times it's the people that don't play the games or just have some ulterior motive or some agenda at play, and that's usually what it is. It's like actually hearing from the people who are playing the game and have an actual opinion on it is tough, because you gotta parse through all the other BS that's out there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do think it kind of sucks that Sean Murray has been radio silent since all of this broke out. I really would like to know what happened, like why there was that stream where those people couldn't see each other, and he never offered any explanation. No simple, like, there were features that absolutely we wanted to have in this game, but just to get it out when we got it out, like working 16-hour days, like someone mentioned, like he had any kind of reasons that he could have brought up that were totally legitimate reasons. He's, like Shuhei said, he's an independent developer. They can only do so much with the limited manpower they have. So, I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses for him or anything, but I do think it does suck that he's been just completely silent about this ever since.
Yeah, I think it's a little strange that he hasn't gone out here and talked about some of this stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what the mandate is from. There could be legal issues with this game. We've seen issues with the return policy and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like there might be some of that in play behind the scenes, and maybe he can't talk as freely about the game. But who knows?
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be able to get out here and address some of these things, and hopefully he'll be able to address some of the criticisms with the game, and come out with updates and patches down the line. They're going to take care of some of the stuff. Like, I know they've patched a lot of the crashes out. I think the last patch they sent out, they said like 90-95% of the crashes have been taken care of. So They're working their way towards getting all those out of the game, and then we'll see what becomes of No Man's Sky from here. I still got to fire it up myself. Haven't had a chance to sit down and do it yet. One of these days, right? Such is life. Let's get on with the PlayStation stories of the week, though, guys. One thing I want to touch on briefly here is firmware update 4.0. It's available right now, and I gotta tell you guys, it's pretty slick. I like the way the system is set up now. The UI was nice before. It's even nicer now, even more intuitive, even better to use. Kind of the unsung feature of this update that wasn't talked about at all is the fact that all PlayStation 4s can stream at 60 frames per second, 720p now, which is awesome. So we just stumbled upon that. We were streaming the other day, so we can stream that to YouTube, 60 frames a second, which is awesome. Twitch 60 frames, awesome. Frankie, I know you've been really enjoying the folders part of it. How's that? How's that digital bangers going?
Great. I love it, man. I just instant access to Battleborn. I got like another 20 games in there. Have a backlog folder that's got every other game on my system in it. So, but nice. It's cool. Like you can arrange those in any order you want. So always got Battleborn front and center the way it should be. But even just like the minor touches, like the game, like you go down to a game and like it'll bring up like a little mini like trophy like thing for us, like for my Battleborn thing, I have like 52%. It shows like your most recent earned trophy. I think it shows like the rarest trophy that you have in that game.
Yep.
So there's a lot of really cool minor touches. Even the you hold down the power button, turn off the system. That menu is just like everything you need is right there. So you don't have to like scroll down to shut down, scroll up to rest mode or power down. It's just you hold that button down, you're already hovering over the power options, just go over and you're right there. So
and you can customize you can customize that menu too.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of really cool features that it's doing. I know Jamie was trying out the that events planner that they added.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I still am not really totally sure how it worked out because it was on his end because I didn't set up the event or anything. But he said like it constantly gave you reminders. If you have the PlayStation app on your phone, it reminds you that, hey, you're supposed to play this tonight with whoever. So
oh, really? Okay.
That seems like a pretty cool feature. So it might be in handy for planning like a flawless Raider run or something.
Yeah. In fact, Bender and I were trying to go through the raid and we're like, oh man, we're supposed to be playing Battleborn right now, aren't we? So it slipped our mind. So it would be nice to have the little event reminder pop up there. So Bender, you've been toiling around with 4.0. What do you think about the update? Is there a feature that you're really stoked about? It's in the system now.
I like the folder thing. I actually forgot about that until we were talking about it before the show. I was like, oh yeah, folders. So I'm gonna mess around with that a little bit. I really like Frankie was talking about the little pop-up menu when you hold down the home button. Or the PlayStation button. I think that's really cool. One thing I noticed, though, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like some things it takes longer for the PlayStation to do things now sometimes. Like, I don't remember it ever bringing up a loading screen to bring up my friends list, but it does now. So, I don't know. It's only like a second or two, but still, it's just something I noticed. I feel like some things just seem to be a little bit slower now. Maybe it's just me.
I think it's because it added the little loading thing on there. Like for me, it's always taken a second to pop up, but now that it actually has a little loading icon on there, maybe now it's more noticeable.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's always been that
PlayStation way. PlayStation icons on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually like that. I think that looks pretty classy.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't. Cool. I didn't notice anything moving particularly slower. I feel like everything's been doing the same, like Frankie, but maybe I just haven't paid attention to it. I probably don't have as many friends as you, Bender. So yours probably takes longer to load up.
Yeah, that must be it. I'm so popular.
That's probably the main problem. The HDR update was a part of this as well. So HDR is available on all PlayStation 4 systems now. So if you have a 4K TV, you can take advantage of that. Something that'll be useful when the Pro comes out too is that data transfer. So you can actually just hook up a LAN cable between your two systems, transfer all your data over to your new system. So that's pretty cool. So if you're looking to
Does that include PT? Can I transfer PT to a pro?
That's the big question. I feel like you can, but I don't know for sure. We'll have to find out and see.
Sounds dangerous. I don't know.
It won't. I don't believe it clears them off the system though. I think it keeps them on there. So even if you try it and it doesn't work, it'll still be over on your old system. I'm trying to see if it says that. I think I read that somewhere. Well, not 100% sure on that, but
I love how that's always gonna be a thing anyone's ever gonna worry about. All right, well let's clear my PT because I can't do
Yeah.
this then.
yeah, PT is always going to be the great equalizer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a pretty slick update from what I've seen. I've enjoyed playing around with it so far. I really like the new streaming features on there. Obviously we knew about the 1080p 60 frames that's coming to the PS4 Pro, but they hid the fact that we were going to be able to do 60 frames on the regular PlayStation just through the streaming too. So that's really cool. It really helps out when we're doing the streams. So that basically the one thing we're missing now is that external hard drive support. So if we can somehow get that into the PlayStation 4, I think we'd be complete in terms of the main features that we need on that thing.
Something complete.
Also,
maybe one day
changing our PSN names.
Changing the PSN names. That's the other big one.
Yep.
So
Who's changing their PSN name? What's wrong with Piccolo 930?
I won't be changing
Piccolo
mine.
1129.
Not me.
Yeah, change to the new Final Fantasy release date. Yeah. No, I at this point I don't think we'll ever be able to change PSN names. Just it was something with the way the network was initially designed. I think that's preventing this from happening. And external hard drive support, I've given up hope on that as well at this point. I mean, we're 3 years into the system. It would have happened at this point. I'm also worried that it won't be in the Pro because they haven't mentioned anything about it. So I feel like we might be getting shafted on external hard drive support on that thing as well. Guess we'll find out in a couple months when it comes out. Let's move on with some of the other PlayStation stories of the week, guys. How about this, fellas? 18 games on this PlayStation VR demo disc. That is beefy. I don't ever remember a demo disc with the amount of games and experience that this has. Let's run through what you're going to get on the disc here when you bring home your PlayStation VR on day one. You're going to have demos for Allumette, Battlezone, Drive Club VR, Eve Valkyrie, Nog, Harmonix Music VR. Some of these games I haven't even heard of. Like I don't know what that is. Headmaster, Here They Lie, Job Simulator, PlayStation VR Worlds, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, The Kitchen Teaser, Res Infinite, Riggs, Mechanized Combat League, Thumper, which looks awesome, Tumble VR, Until Dawn Rush of Blood, Wayward Sky, and Within. All will be included on that demo disc.
Sweet.
Within by Within Studios.
Yeah. Battlecry by Battlecry Studios. Yeah. Frankie, 18 games. That's pretty beefy, right?
That's nice. Oh, like cool ones on here too.
Yeah. Headmaster? That's the soccer one, right?
Yep, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the kitchen demo? Is that what this kitchen teaser is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
About time. I'm glad they found something to do with that thing.
That's man. Yeah, from what I understand, that's terrifying. So Bender, that's probably gonna be the first one you fire up, I'd imagine.
Totally.
Riggs is often positioned as the killer app when this thing comes out. So cool that thing is gonna be on here. Riggs looks like a lot of fun. Rush of Blood. I've been hearing some good things about that one. It sounds like that's gonna be a good time as well. Drive Club VR. So some nice demos on here, man.
Battlezone and Eve Valkyrie, that's all you need.
Yeah, those are two of the games I definitely want to bring home day one. We'll see how everything works out here. Bender, what do you think, man? 18 games. That's a pretty nice demo, right?
Yeah,
new PlayStation VR.
Yeah, that's awesome. Especially since VR is such a new thing, and you're not going to know if you really want to get these games. I mean, that'll give you a chance to try them out before you actually buy them. So and also it'll be something that like if you have friends over, you'd be like, oh, here's all these different things you can try out. So you can show it to other people too. That'd be really cool.
Definitely, even if they're only 5-10 minute experiences, I mean, that's enough for you to like get a taste of the game and kind of get an idea of what it's going to entail in VR. So,
yep,
it's awesome. Looking forward to it, fellas. Man, we're only a few weeks out. October 13th, less than a month away from PSVR, from virtual reality, like being in our living rooms. It's pretty wild.
Wow. It's exciting.
Yeah, I think back to watching the Lawnmower Man in the early '90s, and now we've arrived at this, man. It's a reality. Origami. Have you guys seen this game? It looks badass. It's a stealth like ninja game. It arrives on the PS4 October 4th. We got a release date on it. Frankly, the most exciting part for you, it's getting a physical edition as well. A physical collector's edition.
Maximum Games logo on this, so I don't care.
The Maximum Games logo, they are not developing this game, so it's being developed by somebody else.
They didn't develop Lichtenstein Battle Mage either, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah, but they're just helping to publish this game and bring it to your fine physical collection, man.
I'll wait for the reviews.
Yeah, Origami has a platinum trophy. It's said to have 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. I mean, it looks great. Like, if you watch a trailer for this game looks really cool. Looks like a throwback to like Tenchu Stealth Assassin from the PS1. You can choose to go in like full on ghost stealth or just straight up. They call it ghost or demon. Like, you can go in stealthily or demon, which is like the guns blazing version of this assassin and use all your abilities and just start killing your enemies as you move through these environments. So I think this game looks badass. Got my eye on that. It's definitely an indie spotlight contender whenever that comes out, or on October 4th. The Resident Evil 7 demo's been updated as well. Speaking of Resident Evil 7, I don't know if you guys checked this out. I still got to get in here and play the new demo. Haven't given it a whirl yet, but I guess they've got some new scenes in there. It's available for everybody now, so you don't have to be a PlayStation Plus member to have the demo now. They call it the Twilight version, and it's going to expand on what you can do and explore. Basically, they've added a few new tweaks in here for you to explore and kind of get some more info about the house that you're going to be exploring. This game looks terrifying. I still can't imagine playing through this entire thing in VR. It's... I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to survive. But we'll find out. Yeah, like literally. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to survive that game in VR. We'll hop into it, though, January 27th. Game's also getting PS4 Pro support. So it's going to have HDR support. It's going to have Pro support. So now you can piss yourself in even higher fidelity. There you go.
Just what I was looking for.
Yeah. So the experience we all wanted. Unfortunate news, guys. Layoffs have hit Sony San Diego team. Now we need to... The MLB team is not affected by this. This is some of their peripheral projects. We have a statement from Sony on the issue. We can confirm there has been a reduction in headcount at San Diego studio. Teams working on MLB The Show, Drawn to Death, and Guns Up have not been affected. We continually evaluate teams and programs at SIE Worldwide Studios to ensure we have the proper resources in place to deliver innovative products within a competitive landscape. As projects are completed, it is natural to review and restructure teams around current and future needs. We wish our departing team members success as they pursue new opportunities, and we have nothing but heartfelt thanks for their contributions to PlayStation. So, if you do the math here, that means that the Killstrain team sounds like is the one that got the axe here. I think there were maybe a couple other peripheral projects that were going on around Sony San Diego. Sony has stated that Killstrain is going to continue to be supported. So maybe just like basic support. I don't know how this project has turned out for him. Doesn't sound like very good. I was curious how these San Diego free-to-play games were going to turn out. They were never really on my radar. Obviously, San Diego is still known for their MLB The Show product, but Drawn to Death is in here as well. So I know people have enjoyed that game. I don't know, Frankie, have you played Drawn to Death or Guns Up or Killstrain or any of these games? What are your thoughts on any of these?
I dabbled with Drawn to Death.
San Diego games. Yeah.
I had a good time with it. I'm just kind of waiting for that one to actually hit full release.
Man, I wish that was like that's a game I'd pay for. I wish that was a pay game. Just go buy the game. I just don't like free to play games, man. Like, I just want to buy the game and just have it. Like, that's it.
Yeah. The thing that confuses me the most about that, though, is, from my understanding, like, Jaffe's team is his own studio. It's like the Bartlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency. So I don't know if it's just like
how you rattled that off. That was well done.
I love that studio name. It's probably one of
Yeah.
the best ones.
Yeah.
But I don't understand what San Diego's involvement is with that game. Like, are they just
Mhm.
kind of helping, with the networking stuff? I would imagine that's what they're probably doing.
Yeah, I feel like they're
But
contributing resources, like that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
so I can't imagine like that's like taking a lot of manpower from, Sony San Diego itself.
Mhm.
Sounds like Jaffe's got his own studio doing their own thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many people are at the Bartlett Jones agency there, but yeah, San Diego's helping them out in some way. But we send our best out to the teams affected. Hopefully, those guys land back on their feet. Bender, have you toyed around with Drawn to Death or Guns Up or Kill Strain or any of these free to play games they've been experimenting with over there?
No, I have not tried it. Oh well, Killstrain I played a little bit of when it was in beta. I forgot
Okay.
about that. Yeah, it's an MMO. I mean,
Oh,
didn't
is it an
really
MMO?
appeal.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't really appeal to me too much, but it seemed okay.
Yeah.
I remember being kind of interested in it. Then Bender was talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I don't want to play that."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's straight up
No, it
an
always
MMO.
was
I mean, I said MMO. I meant
MOBA.
MOBA. It's a MOBA. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Was that the one they announced and the guy was like on something on stage? We're making this game for you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that guy was amped up when he was talking about these games. So I mean, it's cool that San Diego got to experiment a little bit with some of the stuff, and that they're trying new things. But I don't know, man. I just can't get excited about free to play games.
Mhm.
Like anytime I hear free to play, it just turns me off to most games. So I would love it if something like Drawn to Death would come out as like a actual like release. I think that'd be awesome.
Neverwinter's
same
pretty
here.
good. DC Universe Online
Yeah,
is pretty good
that's
too.
that's the one. Like DC Universe Online, I love that game. Like, I'll play that all
It was a
day,
paid
free to
game
play.
at first.
It was
It
it
was.
was a paid game at first. Yeah.
Had a badass collector's edition.
I have it. It's in my room.
It's a good Batman statue.
It is a good Batman statue. Yeah, so yeah, like DC Universe does it good. I haven't played Neverwinter, but I know you guys speak highly of it. So there, every now and then, there's a game that strikes it big with free to play. I mean, obviously, free to play is the primary mobile thing. So Pokemon Go was free to play. League of Legends, that stuff's free to play. So those games have been big. So there are games that have done it successfully. I just really would just prefer to just pay $60 and just have the game, just not have to deal with any of the other stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, hopefully those guys at San Diego that got laid off land on their feet. Obviously a lot of talent over there at that studio. Got a new Eve title was mentioned this week on the PlayStation blog. Gunjack. It's a PlayStation VR launch title set in the Eve universe. Basically finds you like taking control of turrets and like, shooting things down. That sounds like so interesting sounding title. And then PlayStation, like they're prone to do, they've teamed up with Taco Bell once again, and now you can win a PlayStation VR even before it's released. So from September 15th through October 19th, you can buy those specially marked $5 Taco Bell big boxes, and you can be entered into a drawing to win a PSVR. One winner will be selected every 15 minutes. Sounds like pretty good odds, Bender. Let's get out there and smash some big boxes.
I can probably do that. I
Guess if you need
love
an
Taco
excuse,
Bell.
go to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As if I need an excuse.
And I've tried for those promotions over the last several times they've run them. No luck. And ate my fair share of tacos, trying to win those things. Couldn't do it.
Totally worth it.
One time I went there and I ordered the big box and they handed me a bag and I was like, do you have the box? And they're like, oh, we're out of boxes. I was like, that's the whole reason I ordered this thing. Still ate the food, but I mean,
yeah, well, of course. It goes without saying. Fellas, Red Dead Revolver is making its way to PlayStation 4. Apparently, this was leaked by the Australian PlayStation Store. I think a couple of days ago, the game just showed up on there. Trophy list has showed up. So it's basically a done deal that this is coming as a PS2 on PS4 classic. Which is kind of cool. We haven't seen Red Dead Revolver in a while. I don't think I've ever played this game. I remember owning it, but I don't think I've ever played it. about you guys? Any you ever fired up Red Dead Revolver?
Nope, never played
No.
it. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I guess in this game you play as Red, engaging in Wild West duels and gunfights. So I don't know. I guess it could be cool. It's probably inferior to Red Dead Redemption in the grand scheme of things, but kind of cool to see where that franchise came from, as that's supposedly one of 2K's permanent franchises. Someday we'll see another entry in that, right?
Sure.
It's gonna happen. Also, got some good looking titles showed up this week on the PlayStation blog. Shu arrives on October 4th. Vita later this year. It's gonna be a cross-buy title. This game looks awesome. Hand-drawn art. Something similar to like we saw from Jotun. Like it's that type of art style in this game in a kind of fast-paced side scroller. So that game looks really, really good. October 4th, that'll be out. Seasons After Fall was announced for PS4 this week. It's coming to Xbox One as well in 2017. This is another game, like hand-painted, hand-drawn backgrounds and characters. You're on like a quest as this fox character who can change the seasons in order to solve puzzles. The game looks awesome. It's already on the PC. Manual Samuel, if you remember, we mentioned that for the Xbox a few months back. Find out it's coming to PlayStation 4 now. It's got an October 11th release date. This game looks pretty funny. They've got a trailer up on the blog this week. It shows Manuel Samuel, and you're trying to control all his bodily functions, all of them. So
you have to blink his eyes and like breathe and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got to breathe. You got to blink his eyes. You got to move his legs. You got to piss. You got to do all that stuff. So you gotta control all that. So it looks like a wild game. That is definitely one I got my eye on. So this came out this week, guys, and I just wanted to put it in here as kind of a follow up to what we talked about with the Bethesda mods on the last show. But Farming Simulator 17 is gonna have mods. That's great. None of us give a damn. Nobody here is buying Farming Simulator 17, but it's gonna have mods on both systems. So it's going to have mods on PlayStation 4, and it's going to have mods on Xbox One when it releases in late October, I believe October 25th. So I don't know, Frankie. Like, what does this say about the Bethesda situation? Does this just tell us that this is just something that Sony and Bethesda just can't get straight? I mean, obviously you can do mods on the system. It's not a matter of that. It's just a matter of those two guys can't agree on how they should be done, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. The more like you think about it, it's like, look, if Farming Simulator of all games can get mods, what the hell's going on with Fallout 4 on PS4?
Mhm.
Like, why not? So there's just a lot of things that seem to continue to point to Bethesda doesn't want to do all the QA on the mods, and Sony just doesn't want to have everyone just putting crap on the system that no one's testing. So
yeah.
I'm more inclined to believe that every time, especially when stuff like this pops up. It's just
Yeah.
it's a strange omission, and like you mentioned before, like Bethesda and Sony have such a just garbage track record with Fallout support, like even dating back to Fallout 3. Like all the DLC was delayed for like a year before they finally got it to work on the system. It's just like this isn't surprising at all. So
yeah, it's just it's weird. I mean, we thought with it was strange. We talked about it on the show about how these systems are based on PC architecture, and for all intents and purposes, the PS4 and the Xbox One very similar architecturally. So it just seemed very odd that mods just wouldn't be an option on the system, and I don't think any of us thought that was the issue, but some had postulated that. But now we know with the mods coming from Farming Simulator that they can be done. It's just a matter of Bethesda and Sony getting on the same page with that now. When and if that happens, who knows, man? Just another in the latest line in this saga between those two. We also saw The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. It's coming to PS4 soon. Is this already out on Xbox?
Yeah,
I feel like I saw it on
title.
I feel like I saw it on Xbox before. So it's coming to PS4 finally. It's gonna get Pro support too, so it's gonna be all gussied up for that system when it comes out in November. So we got the Platinum Trophy in this game too, I think.
Nice.
Let's be on the lookout for that. It's always a cool looking game. Heard some good things about it. Action RPG game. Might check this out when it comes out.
Yeah, heard a lot of comparisons to Diablo. So.
Oh really? Okay. So not a bad game to get compared to. This one kind of snuck out from Tokyo Game Show this week. Harvest Moon's creator. He's got a new game coming west. It's called Birthday's the Beginning. It's coming to PS4 and PC as both a physical and digital release. It's described as a sandbox game in which players create cube-shaped worlds that give rise to diverse and unique life forms. With careful experimentation, players can shape the geography and alter the temperature of each world to create the conditions for life and witness the birth of an entire ecosystem. Interesting.
Cube-shaped worlds like Minecraft.
That's what it sounds like. So we'll see how that one comes out. Bender, you're a Harvest Moon fan, right?
I've actually never played the Harvest Moon series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard they're good, but I've never played one.
Yeah, long running series. I think they date back all the way to the Super Nintendo, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
Yeah, been around for 20 plus years. So,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you're a Harvest Moon fan or a fan of like world building games, maybe check out Birthday's the Beginning when that comes out next year. And then finally on the PlayStation front, Frankie, Battlezone. It's getting a 4-player co-op mode.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty awesome. Should we be excited about that?
Yeah, I think you should be excited about that game in general. It's a lot of fun.
They were mentioning that when you've got the headset on and you're in a 4-player co-op with like your friends, and you feel like you're in that tank and you're like talking to people with this headset on, like it feels like it's pretty engrossing to be in there in that world, and you're like talking to your other players who are in their tanks. It sounds pretty awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's actually one of the more immersive ones that I've played so far. Just you got your like someone like giving you like intel of the headset and saw the explosions going off and everything. Like that game is just a lot of fun to play.
Is this like sensory overload in here with this one, or
not quite as much as like Valkyrie, but it's again like you look around, you look around, you're in a tank. Like there's a lot going on the screen, but it's all like the main thing you gotta pay attention to is you have a little like a sonar that's showing you where your enemies are. So like you pay attention to that radar. You can as I was explaining it to Bender earlier. Actually, the tank itself like feels kind of like in the Batmobile, like you go into battle zone, and yeah, it just glides like it's nice and just glides around like butter. So it's really fun to play. So I can like playing that with friends would actually be really cool.
Yeah, I've heard some good stuff about Battlezone, man. Good previews of it. This is one of the games that has been difficult to show just in a trailer or something like that. It doesn't look very cool when you watch it in a trailer, but everything I've read about the game, all the impressions and previews of people that have played Battlezone have been positive. They say like when you get inside of that tank and you're actually in that world, like it's completely different. It looks awesome. Like it's a completely different ball game when you're actually playing the game. And that's pretty much your experience as well with it?
Yeah. Like it was one thing like watching all those gameplay trailers. You look at it, you're like, yeah, all right, this looks kind of cool. But when you're actually in the tank in that world, you like look up around you, got these enemies flying above you, trying to blast out of the sky. Just, dude, it is amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that one out. Bender, you got any interest in Battlezone for your PSVR?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I didn't get a chance to play it when I did my demo. But I did watch somebody play it, and it looked pretty intense. Of course, I was watching it on the TV screen, so it's not the same. But it looked like a pretty exciting type of game, so I think I would definitely want to check it out.
Short pause, 4-player co-op.
Yes,
be pretty sweet.
Battlezone.
Yes,
all of us in our headsets. It'd be pretty. It'd be like a nerdgasm right there. It's intense, man. Looking forward to it. Let's get into some Nintendo stuff now, guys. How about that? You excited, Bender?
Yay!
Talk Nintendo?
Yeah.
So here's an interesting story that wow, the excitement is palpable in this room right now. It's impressive. So here's an interesting story, guys, related to Breath of the Wild. But apparently, an Amiibo release date was possibly outed by Nintendo's European site, and there's talk that this could possibly hint at the NX release date. So let's read through this story here real quick. The source code of Nintendo's European websites has possibly revealed the release date of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of Wild's Amiibo figures. So this is via IGN that we're gonna get this from here. According to data in several Nintendo of Europe sites, as originally spotted on Reddit, the 3 Breath of the Wild amiibo are labeled in the code with a release date of March 4th, 2017. IGN confirmed the appearance of this date in the site's source code and on the UK and French websites. They have an image on here as well, which shows their findings. This could signal the release date for the 3 amiibo figures, Archer Link, Rider Link, and a Guardian. Or while it could signal that release date, the date could also implicate some other major release dates or windows. The individual pages for each figure currently only list the release date as 2017. Obviously, Breath of the Wild is set to release on the NX, which we don't have a date on the NX. We just have March 2017, which will put these amiibo and possibly Breath of the Wild within that launch window. Nintendo has not confirmed or announced any specific release dates for either the game or system, obviously. And here's the other thing: amiibo figures can often release before or after the release of the game with which they are associated. So this date, if correct for the amiibo launch, may not indicate the release date of the game or upcoming system. Bender, in your experience, when they release these amiibos, like amiibos themed for a certain game, like do they usually come out like around the time the game comes out? Do they usually come out beforehand and the game comes out down the line? I don't follow the amiibo releases close enough to remember one way or another when they typically come out. But when they announce a line of amiibo and they're tied to a certain game, like when do they typically launch?
I think they typically launch around the same time as the game.
The Kirby ones were, I think, either day and date or like within the week.
Okay.
Depends on the game, because I mean, some of them are like packaged with some amiibo are packaged with the game, like the Chibi Robo situation or the Yoshi's Woolly World. I mean, of course, in other situations like Smash Brothers, I don't think they've still released all of the Smash Brothers figurines. So
yeah,
I feel like I know the Splatoon ones were like available before Splatoon. But I don't know if I know the pre-orders were, but I don't know, I don't remember the actual release date of those, if that was the same day as Splatoon.
They had the 8-bit Mario. They came out with Mario Maker, right? When they made that one.
That one was out before that, though.
It was out before that. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really paid a whole lot of attention to the amiibo release dates in relation to the games that they're associated with, but I would imagine that it wouldn't be within more than a week or two that they would release.
Yeah.
Either before or after.
I feel like the lines they're doing of certain titles are releasing really, really close to the titles. So it's not the realm of possibility that date is like a day and date amiibo and game. So I'm pretty sure, I think Kirby was.
Yeah.
So March 4th. What day is that? March 4th is a Saturday. This is once again, these are from European sites. This could be a European release date. So I mean, we could see amiibo release on Saturday and the system come out on March 5th on Sunday. That's something they could do, right?
Yeah. Could be.
So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, is this, if these are indeed the amiibo dates, this has to be around the time that they're planning to release Breath of the Wild, and by extension, you'd assume the NX as well, right?
Yeah, you would assume.
I mean,
God, I'm dreading that.
Do we all agree that Breath of the Wild is going to come out at the same time as the NX? Like, even if the game's finished, I feel like they're not going to put out the Wii U version and then put out the NX version a few weeks down the line. I feel like they're going to release this game with the release of the NX. Is that how you guys feel?
Yeah, that's always been my assumption.
Yeah.
That's always been my assumption, too. Ever since they delayed it.
That's Frankie's assumption many, many years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, early March. Were you guys... Bender, let me start with you. Were you expecting early March? Were you expecting more towards the end of March? I mean, when they gave us this March date, personally, I was thinking maybe towards the end of March. Thought they might go right up against the end there, but I don't know if this amiibo is onto something here. We could be seeing something in very early March, which means they need to start unveiling this system very quickly here.
Yeah, very quickly.
We're just under 6 months
yeah.
outside of that date.
Mhm.
Wait, hold on, wait. Did you say this is a European date? So
Yeah.
we're not reading this like it should actually be April.
No, they already. I think they already.
Yeah, they
accounted for
already
that.
read it correctly this time. Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be sweet if it was early March. The sooner the better, man. I'm ready for it. So, if that's the case, then that's cool with me.
Frankie, I mean, with all those games in quarter one 2017, and then to throw the NX in there with its 20, 30 game launch lineup, you have to assume. That's
It's gonna be a killer, man.
that's brutal.
It's rough.
That's brutal. Because Ghost Recon is coming out right
God.
around that time. Ghost Recon looks awesome. I want that game. Mass Effect, we don't know when that's coming out.
I think
Could be
Tekken 7's in there too.
Tekken 7, Ukulele's in there. And then not to mention a couple weeks prior to that is all the February games. Horizon will have just came out a week or so before that. So
Yeah.
a busy time of the year. So let's should we be rooting for the NX to have like a 10 game launch lineup? Is that should we like be pushing for that now?
Maybe for strictly Nintendo fans, sure, but for us, that would be okay with like 2,
Yeah.
3 games.
The 2 game launch lineup.
Zelda, Metroid, and Mario. Done.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, that's what I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they come out at this NX reveal. I feel like they're gonna show a Mario game. I feel like that's gonna be at the show. They're gonna show Zelda, of course, and I think Metroid. That's the play. 30th anniversary. Let's get a proper Metroid, even if it's a downloadable, like 2D classic Super Metroid style game. Like, give us a downloadable Metroid game to get the system, the eShop started correctly with. I think that would be awesome too.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, I'd be down for
So we're
that.
porting Axiom Verge to the NX. That's what you want.
There we go. That's how we celebrate Metroid's 30th anniversary. Port Axiom Verge. Also on the Nintendo side of things, Pokemon Sun and Moon gets a new 3DS XL. Sweet.
Looks cool.
This is another thing. These things are popping out like every week. These new 3DSs.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
There's a million of these things now. Bender, you got yours pre-ordered?
Nah. I'm still happy with my Majora's Mask edition.
Yeah. You'll be clutching that one tight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, does this one come with does this one actually come with the game?
Yeah, right.
No, because why would they do that?
Yeah,
That's the weirdest thing to me. you bring out this this themed 3DS and you don't even include the game. That's just so weird. But we got some Shovel Knight news, fellas. Spectre of Torment. It's coming out. Guess when?
February
Quarter one.
2017.
Yep. Quarter one or spring 2017. Spectre of Torment will get a release. But the cool thing about this is it's free, of course. So all the Shovel Knight updates will be free, which is awesome. I love that they're doing this. This is like substantial content here too. This is a whole entire campaign with Spectre Knight. And he looks like a pretty cool character with his slashes. The way he maneuvers. He has an up slash and a down slash. He can also climb out walls. That's how you maneuver your way through the levels. So,
do they have a trailer for this?
I think they just had that teaser picture.
Yeah, I'm watching a GIF right now. I'm not sure. Yeah,
I'm wondering how he's gonna play, because couldn't he basically fly when he fought him as Shovel Knight?
Yeah, yeah, he could fly during the boss section. Obviously they can't make him fly in the game, but they've done their best to translate that in terms of how he can slash upwards and he kind of flies up when he does it. Giving him the ability to climb all walls, I think, kind of gives him that verticality as well.
Yeah,
but yeah. But man, I still haven't got through the Plague Knight campaign. Plague Knight's tough as hell to play.
Yeah, he's way different than Shovel Knight.
Yeah. Yes, hopefully Spectre Knight's a little bit easier to get through. Such a great game though, man. It's awesome that they're still supporting Shovel Knight this way. I'm ready for Super Shovel Knight now, the 16-bit version.
That'd be sweet.
I think we need to go ahead and bang that out.
And then Shovel Knight 64.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's hope it's better than Earthworm Jim 64.
Oh.
Wah, wah.
Guys, we got the NPD results for August.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's favorite time of the year. As we know, the Xbox One came out on the top of the hardware for the second month in a row.
Mhm.
So bravo to them. The Xbox One S selling extremely well. So we'll see how PlayStation rebounds now that they've got their new systems on the horizon. You know, they've got the Slim came out this month. The Pro will be out the following month. So we'll see how that factors into the holidays. And we got the software list for August. Let's go down this line here, guys. Madden NFL number 1 at the top. No surprise there. A possible surprise, though, is No Man's Sky at number 2 without digital sales. And frankly, Frankie, as you so astutely mentioned, No Man's Sky was at the top of the PlayStation download charts for August as well. So obviously sold quite a bit digitally as well. So if those were factored in, that might have even overtaken Madden, which is crazy. Crazy to think about. Deus Ex Mankind Divided is number 3. Grand Theft Auto 5, the perennial top 10 games, at number 4. Overwatch slips down to number 5 in the absence of Battle.net digital sales. Rainbow Six Siege clocking in at 6. That game continues to climb up the charts here. Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens is in at 8. Minecraft without digital sales is in at 9. And Destiny, the Taken King, still sitting strong there at number 10. You got to assume that's going to go up with Rise of Iron coming out next month. So, I don't know. Frankie, what do you think about this list? I mean, I guess I was kind of surprised to see No Man's Sky at number 2.
Yeah, I was surprised it charted as high as it did, especially beating out Deus Ex, because I know Deus Ex had a lot of hype behind it, but dude, seeing No Man's Sky up there, and that's without digital sales, I assume that also...
And that's also only on PlayStation and PC.
Yeah. So
without digital sales.
Yeah,
so this is basically PlayStation retail copies, right?
Yeah, like this can't factor in Steam, right? That's...
No, yeah.
So... That's incredible. That's
crazy.
Game do that well. Damn.
That's wild to think about. I didn't even think about that. But it's only out on PS4 and PC. There's no physical PC version outside of that collector's edition. There wasn't many of those made. And then, yeah, just the physical No Man's Sky games off the rack for PS4. That's crazy, man. You got to think, if you factor in Steam and you factor in PSN, this game would have outsold Madden, which is incredible to think about. A game like No Man's Sky outselling Madden NFL 17. A game that releases on 5 or 6 different platforms. Bravo to No Man's Sky for generating that kind of interest. And hopefully, people are just able to get out there, and if you're enjoying it, enjoy it. If you're not, just move on. But yeah, we talked about it earlier. Hopefully they add some cool stuff to it down the line here. NPD still a train wreck. We need digital sales for this stuff so we can get some actual, concrete numbers here. We're still kind of all over the place with how these things pan out, but seeing stuff like that though, to know that No Man's Sky charter like that without digital sales is pretty impressive. All right, we've got some Xbox bulletins here, and we'll finish out the show here, guys. The Battlefield 1 Xbox One S bundles have been revealed. So we've got a couple different colors here. We've got this gray color and this green color. Franklin, either of these doing anything for you?
Nah, not in comparison to that Gears 1, man.
Yeah, you're not gonna trade your Gears 1 in and get this Storm Gray Battlefield 1 Early Enlister Edition?
No, good.
Bender, what do you think about these colors, man? Any of these tickling your fancy at all?
Nah, I like the white. Just a regular white Xbox One S.
Still down with the lunar white one?
Yeah.
Ready to trade your box in and upgrade to an S now?
Not yet.
Nah, not happening. Remedy. Guess what, guys? They're gonna be making multiplayer games now. It doesn't necessarily. They don't necessarily say that they're going to be like PvP type of games. They could be just cooperative, teamwork based games. We don't know yet. Don't know what they're working on. What do you think, Frankie? Do you want to see them stick to the single player games they've been doing for so long, or do you want to see them venture out a little bit and get into the multiplayer space?
I like the weird things that they do with single player games.
Yeah.
I'd rather see them continue down that road, but hey, if they have some interesting concepts for multiplayer, I'm totally not close to trying that out, so.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what they come up with. Obviously, they're a talented, creative developer. So they've probably got some cool ideas for multiplayer games. Yeah. See what comes out down the line, though. Battlefield 1's getting HDR support on the Xbox One S, just so you know. So, once again, if you have a 4K TV and an Xbox One S, take advantage of the HDR support on there. Everspace, coming to the Xbox preview program. This is a game you've been talking about, Franklin.
Uh-huh.
What is Everspace? What is this about here? Is it a dogfighting game? What is it?
Yeah, it strikes me as like a roguelike space shooter. That's what it's been described as to me.
Okay.
Roguelite, rather. So
Roguelite.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what the difference here is. I'm not a big expert on that stuff, but the couple gameplay trailers I saw look really cool. I'm bummed it's early access because I'm not... That early access crap, I refuse. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not interested. Especially since, like, Ark's been on sale, like, 3 or 4 times now. It's already in early access. Why the hell are you putting a game that people are already paying, basically pre-ordering and paying for now, on sale again later before it's even at final release? Like, stuff like that really irks me, so...
Yeah.
I'm excited it's coming out, but I'll either wait till it's cheaper or it's in final release before I finally pull the trigger.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know some people, a lot of people downloaded the We Happy Few preview, and were not excited by it. So hopefully that doesn't negatively affect the game when it's actually finished, and that's the point that people should be buying it. I mean, that's always the danger with these preview games. I don't know. Now, I don't know if you guys can confirm this, but Splosion Man was suddenly free at some point. It's a backwards compatible 360 game on the Xbox One. Is it still free as we currently stand?
Not sure if it's still free, but I know for sure it was yesterday.
Yeah, that game's awesome. So if you guys didn't download that, like, get on there, check it. You need to. It's a super fun puzzle game from Twisted Pixel, one of their very early Xbox 360 games. Came out early on in the Xbox Live Arcade life cycle. I thought it was an awesome game. I thought it was a ton of fun. Really cool concept. You're basically like this lab experiment guy, and you can blow yourself up a certain amount of times to kind of platform your way around the levels. It's a really cool game. I love Splosion Man. It's something I recommend picking up if you haven't already.
On the topic of Twisted Pixel, I just wanted to quickly mention that the Maw is now backwards compatible. So
if you've been eagerly anticipating, the Maw, check it out. And finally, you've got some new Xbox One controller colors. Frankie, I was telling you before the show, I feel like these things come out like every week. Like, I don't know how many different Xbox One controllers there are now, but I feel like you have to have an entire aisle in your store dedicated to Xbox One controllers at this point because there's so damn many of them. So the new colors we have are Dawn Shadow and whatever this blue color is. What is the name of this one?
I don't know. Just like a sky blue.
Sky blue and Dawn Shadow. And now why are these $70?
I have no idea.
Isn't the standard price for these things $60? $59.99?
Yep.
But this one with its fancy color is $70. Okay. And then the blue one's $65. So Dawn Shadow will be available on October 4th for $70. The blue one's September 27th for $65. There's a new headset coming as well. Stereo headset special edition. It's kind of it's a white color to complement the Xbox One S console. You can get the special edition at Microsoft stores and GameStop for another $65. Whew. Pretty penny for these Xbox accessories, guys.
Yeah.
So rush out there, pre-order those. Frankie, you can always use another controller, right? You only got about 8 of them.
Yeah, I wonder why that one is more expensive. I'm kind of curious now.
It's the color, man. It takes a lot to mix up that specific color.
It's a great looking color, though.
Yeah. And that's gonna do it, fellas. That's gonna be it for the show. We've come to the end of another Brent Felsing-less episode. We made it through. The tears were cried off camera, off mic, so you didn't hear us shedding. But Franklin, where can we find you tweeting and playing games?
You can find me on the PlayStation Network, Twitter, and you can add me on Xbox Live. I'll accept your friend request through the app, but I'm Xboxless until the Gears one comes in, so enjoy, Shifty. Wink. But I will be on those platforms at Viperstrike, VYPRSTRYKE. And as always, if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel or the Short Pause Twitch channel, there will be a new episode of the Solus Chronicles on Friday.
Yeah.
Nice. Bender, where can we find you, my friend?
I am on Twitter at Bender_guitar. I'm on PlayStation Network at me_Bender. On Nintendo Network at Bender82. And on Xbox at meBender82.
Thanks for making it easy on us, bud. So I hope you got your pen out during that segment. Yeah, take down all of Bender's myriad of titles.
Yep.
Of course, you can find me on PSN at Piccolo930, and as always, I will be not tweeting there as well. We'll be doing the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight this week, 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursday night on our Twitch channel. Just Short Pause Lives. Check us out there. Of course, come visit us on our website, www.shortpause.com. We'll have reviews, news articles, editorials, all kinds of stuff going up over the week. You can find all of our archived videos on there as well a lot of the time. So we'll have the Indie Spotlight on there. We'll have any other videos that we do. We try and get up on the website. So make sure you come out and check us out over there. You can follow us on Twitter at The Short Pause. Come over and follow us on our myriad of streaming services. We mentioned our Twitch channel several times, Short Pause Live. We've got our YouTube channel. We're on Beam as well. Where else are we streaming at? Pretty much it.
I think you said something about Facebook, but I don't know how that
Facebook
works
as well?
or what he's doing. So
Yeah. So check us out, Short Pause Gaming, on any of those streaming options. You should be able to find us on there. The podcast you can find on iTunes, SoundCloud, or TuneIn Radio.
He's
So
also
subscribe.
on Google Play now.
We're on Google Play now as well. That is correct. So we've added a new service on there that you can check us out at. So download us, subscribe on any of the podcast services of your choice. If you like this podcast, if you really like this podcast, go over to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, tell us why you like the show, write us a nice review. Don't just say like, hey, you guys did a good show. Like let us know why you like the show and why you like to listen to it every week.
Like,
if you're not quite
Felsing wasn't there, 5 stars.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a great review. You should probably do that. If you're not quite ready to give the show 5 stars, if you got some things that you'd like to talk about, some things we need to work on, come on over into the comments section on the blog post for this podcast. Go down in there. Let us know, what you think, what concerns you have about the show. Just let us know. Write us a comment there or email us, podcast@shortpause.com. It doesn't have to be with concerns. You can email us questions. We'll read them on the show here. We get feedback from the listeners all the time. We'll read your questions right here on the show. We'll answer them. And we'll have fun doing it. We'd also like to hear from you via the Wave app. So that's WAVVE. Download the app. Was it just Short Pause Gaming on the Wave app?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can find us on there. We put up questions from time to time that you can answer, or you can also send us your question. You can send us basically a voice file. We can take it out of there, put your question right into the show, and we can answer it via the show and have your voice as part of the podcast. So pretty cool. So check out Wave, WAVVE. Once again, this guy do some good work over there. So go out there, support him, use the app. We love to hear from the listeners. So fellas, that wraps up another good show. So for Frankie, Bender, I'm Ben. Follow Brent as well. The Dude 1979 is Twitter. The Dude 79 is PSN. The Real Dude 79 is Xbox.
Yes.
And he's not on Nintendo. So for Frankie, Bender, I'm Ben. Brent will be back next week. Thanks for listening to the show, guys. Have a good night.
See you later.
Bye-bye.